Welcome back to Sports Gamer, and welcome to the start of a brand new ECL season as we're about to kick off another campaign of NHL esports action. My name is Tugi, and this is the wraparound, the show where we cover all the ongoing events with not just the ECL, but everything going on here at SportsGamer, including the return of yours truly after a season away. I unfortunately had to miss out on everything that the ECL 24 spring campaign brought us, and there was a lot that affected, of course, not only that season and how it played out, but now how things are looking heading into this season. And we're going to try to cover all of it. It is a lot. But first and foremost, important things to remember now that the schedule is underway. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we will be here 1945 CET. That is 1:45 p.m. Eastern for those of you on the North American side of things that follow along throughout the season. And before we get into talking about everything that's going on within these individual seasons, we have some housekeeping to do. And the first thing to talk about, right? I think it's always going to be the first thing to talk about when you're beginning a new season. What are the rules? And for these players, there is predominantly one thing at the forefront here in regards to the rules, and that is, do we have any banned abilities heading in to a new season? It's always a topic of conversation, balancing issues perhaps. What are you going to do on a season-by-season basis? And for this season, it is worth noting that we do have an unsurprising set of banned abilities, and it's, of course, the gold and silver versions of Big Tipper, which is very disappointing for me as someone who loves to abuse that particular ability in EASHL. But both gold and silver Big Tipper banned in this competition for Winter 25. Although, as always, we like to keep the conversation going as to how things should be handled. Whenever you have that ability to customize a build, there's always going to be certain abilities, certain traits that are a little bit more powerful than others, but we love to have that conversation going. What abilities were not, expelled for the season that maybe should have been? Should Big Tipper have still been fine to use in the first place? Should we consider a no abilities season this upcoming spring? Perhaps a format where you can only have one ability used once, one player type per position. There's so much that could be done. And of course, we want to hear from everybody, of course, the viewers here, talking to you guys right now, whether or not that be the players themselves. It's always going to be a debate of what is the best way to make a season the most interesting. But again, for this season, outside of the rule book, which of course you can read on sportsgamer.gg, the primary thing to keep in mind is that Big Tipper has been banned for this season. Now, as mentioned, we do have a lot to get to, and that does not just include me ranting and raving about every individual league that we have here within the ECL. It also includes hearing the rants and the raves of a broadcast partner here that we have by the name of B Major. And Brandon was able to get word with a very important person for this season. Every season, every campaign, we'd like to name a cover athlete for the season. And this time out, it ended up being one Sooth 98 of Unwanted. We'll be talking about that team in full a little bit later on, but for now, you get to hear from Brandon as he was able to get a chat in there with Sooth, with Stefan a little bit earlier on. So let's throw it over to them now.
I'm joined by the ECL 25 winter season cover gamer, Soot. Thank you so much for taking a few moments to join me here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And I mean, first and foremost, congratulations, the cover gamer for the ECL 25 winter season. I got to ask you, man, how does it feel to be the face of this upcoming season here in the ECL?
It feels really good. I also got like a feeling that they messaged the wrong guy. So it felt a bit random, but I'm honored about it.
I don't know about that, man. I mean, you definitely are a deserving face. A lot of history in the ECL, plenty of great seasons as well. So definitely worthy to be the head man for this upcoming season. I want to take it all the way back to your roots, if you don't mind. How did you first get into playing the NHL series?
Just always been a big hockey fan. Played it in real life and always played the game on Xbox and PlayStation. And I started maybe in NHL 12 and to maybe NHL 20. I didn't know about the online things of the game, so I just grinded some franchise mode for those 8-9 years. That's how it started, I guess.
I'm sure he's somewhere watching this right now, and if he is, I just know that Tugi absolutely geeked out hearing that you started out as a franchise player, someone that's known to be one of the bigger franchise guys in the community. So I know he absolutely loved and appreciated that answer right now. I know you mentioned you kind of started out in NHL 12 and then really focused on the franchise mode. What was your introduction in the competitive NHL, and more specifically, how did you get into playing here at SportsGamer?
It actually was from a former teammate of mine named Bolas, so shout out to him. We just started talking and playing together, started in Light, and now we are in Elite, or I am.
I'm sure he wasn't aware then that he would end up having a future cover gamer, that he would get into the league. But, now you look forward to this upcoming season, play getting started for the regular season in just a few days' time. What are you looking forward to about this Winter 25 season that's coming up?
I'm just looking forward to playing competitive games. It's kind of boring to play those offline, off-season games, so just nice to have something on the line.
Yeah, the stakes definitely going to be risen here a little bit in short order. So one more question for you. Don't want to take up too much of your time. Obviously, you and Unwanted coming off of a pretty good ECL 24 campaign, a pair of playoff appearances, nearly made it to the semifinals last season, just narrowly lost against Strikers in that 7-game quarterfinal series. How are you feeling about yourself, your game, and your team at Unwanted heading into this Winter 25 season coming up?
I have a really good feeling. I feel like we have pretty high potential, and the vibes in the team is really good. They are almost too good at times when we can get laughing attacks. So we just need to try to have some focus and win as many games as possible, and then we should be fine, hopefully.
Hey, it's all about having fun, right? You want to win, but it's good to see that the spirits are high over there at Unwanted. A very good squad you guys got. Excited to see what you end up doing this season. So thank you again one more time for taking a few minutes to chat with me. Best of luck to you guys this season, and congratulations once again on being this season's cover gamer.
Thank you.
A big thank you to Brandon for being able to conduct that interview, and a big thank you to Sooth as well for taking the time. But with all of that said, I think we've postponed long enough, right? Let's get into talking about the top tier of the ECL, our elite division, where the best of the best are going to battle it out, of course, for the highest prize pool that we have, bragging rights as well. And there's always so much to talk about, so much movement, so many changes, and this year perhaps takes the cake for the most important as you get a look here at the current elite division. And what you will notice the most, at least you probably should, no more tunnel vision. The multiple time champions who appeared in both the winter and spring 24 finals, losing the winter championship to then at the time H-Reds in a 7-game set, but then winning over the same team, then known as Valakutanen, in a sweep in the spring campaign. Upon that victory, they decide to go their separate ways, and the primary 6 from the championship squad have mostly evenly split between 2 clubs. We have EXEN, of course, formerly known as Jyväskylä, and the newly rebranded Parasite, who you might remember as H-Reds or Valakutanen Esports. Both rosters are incredibly dangerous, with a lot of the season predictions that I've seen on social media having those 2 clubs as the top 2 finishers. And of course, as always, we want to hear from you. How do you think the season standings are going to go? Let us know, whether it be in Twitch chat, in the comments section, on social media. Let us know how you think things are going to go. Now, Tunnel Vision isn't the only club that we expected to see in this campaign that ultimately will not be participating. The 9th place finisher from our last spring season Purification, along with our pro champions and Almost Famous, will be missing out on this competition, but that did open the door for some other clubs. And when it comes to a club taking advantage of an opportunity, let's talk about one of them. Let's talk about the Falun Coal Miners. With a 13th place finish in Winter 24, they survived a relegation series over Gifu Hockey via a sweep, only to drop down to pro regardless due to a roster rebuild, but ultimately after winning a series over Tiki Talk in a 7-game battle, they are back here in the Elite Division. A projected lineup of Strandmanen, a rookie on left wing. Now, there's been a debate at center as well. Another rookie, I've been told it might be Smake. Hey, I really hope it's Smake. Down the middle, Buffy on the right. It'll be their first elite season since ECL 8. Of course, Furion, Supremski, and Ellie Kamel backstopping the team. Time will tell what is in store for the Falun Coal Miners, but at this point, I have to say it is like the old saying, at least in North America, in the case of a nuclear war, the only thing that will be left are Twinkies, cockroaches, and I am adding the Falun Coal Miners to the list. They just won't go away, will they? For good reasons. I'm not rooting against you, by the way. For good reasons. Up next, let's talk about another team that won't necessarily go away either, always hanging around. It is Goons, a 12th place finish in Winter 24, a 13th place finish in Spring 24 that saw them ultimately lose a relegation series to Musta Kalta. They were swept in that series, but they again get back into the Elite Division after a qualifying series. Their projected lineup for this season right now, Takantala on the left wing side, a rookie in Lexa, I believe our second Lexa of the Elite Division. 41 points, though, in 30 games played in pro in Spring 24. Canary is back into the mix after missing the spring season. Sisu and Easy Chas Sniper on the defensive side. And another rookie, the Speedo. Spring 24 pro with Musta Kalta. Decent numbers and looking to take that step up. Whenever you have a lineup with a decent amount of rookies, it's always make or break. We'll see what happens with Goons this year. That brings us to, and we might as well keep going alphabetically. Next up, we have Hamo, an 11th place finish in Winter 24, 14th in Spring 24, having to win a relegation series over Mythix, and that's one of the names. If I'm a little bit rusty on some of my pronunciations, apologies for that. We'll be talking about that team a little bit later on, by the way. They were also involved in a qualification series against Goons. They tried valiantly to end up in Elite this season. Wasn't on the cards for them, but maybe sooner rather than later. But back to talking about Hamo. They are another team that had a fair amount of moving pieces over the last calendar year, dating back to Winter 24, with Aro, Nati, Takedown on the way out, Okunku and Tumpi moving over to depth roles, but stepping in, another team with a pair of rookies. Snipery, who was with Tiki Talk in pro last season, and Hutzi, who was with Musta Kalta in Elite last year, but limited to just 4 playoff games. As we said, rookies can make or break a lineup. We will see what happens with Hamo this season. Next couple of teams to mention, Musta Kalta, a Winter 24 quarterfinals loss to Renaskor in pro, a Spring 24 semifinals loss to the Falun Coal Miners, but they did win a relegation series over Goons to earn their spot here, and we will see what they are able to do. Next up, Mythix, formerly known as Bjerkeleven Esports. They won a Winter 24 qualifying series over Poggers and ultimately finished in 6th in our spring season in Elite with a quarterfinals playoff loss to Tunnel Vision. The team kept the same, but with the addition of Takedown, who comes over from Hamo. It will be Bobby, Vali, Koloslov, Mickey's, Weedux, and Takedown splitting time with Rico between the pipes. A very interesting team to keep an eye on this season. Keep an eye out on Mythix. Keep an eye out, keep an eye out, keep an eye out. Let's talk about the Polski boys next. Another team with that pro pedigree. Winter 24, they finished in 10th. Spring 24, a little bit of a step back, finishing in 12th. One major change to one of the more consistent lineups as of late, as Tunkelia steps in from EXEN to replace JM on the wing. Security in Elite without a relegation series is great, but this is a roster that is certainly looking to take that step up into a playoff situation with, again, Tunkelia now projected on the left with Brokala at center, Saski on the right, Kungin Kirwa on the left side, Vote on defense alongside him, and a goaltender split of Mistari Tiku with Winchester. And you know, I'm sensing a theme here amongst a lot of these teams. A lot of pro clubs as of late have been able to take that step forward and keep their spots in Elite. And we will see if Renascor can be one of those teams. They lost the Winter 24 Pro Final to Gotham Knights in a 7-game series, but did get qualification for the Spring Series. Finished 15th last year and was able to get a relegation series win over the Fallon Coal Miners. So it's been a bit of a tumultuous run for Renascor over the last little bit. Two new additions, two veteran additions to this lineup. Fopa Toflin coming over from the Blackjacks and Martindale from the Fallon Coal Miners. Funny enough, but Virus Active, Motzi, Niambal, and Gressu, technically a rookie. Last time we saw him was in ECL 22 Spring in some playoff games, but was with Supernatural in Pro for Spring 24 and had essentially an 86% save percentage for both the regular season and the playoffs. So definitely a goaltender to keep an eye out on this season. Just so many eyes. I know you only have two, but you just got to find a way to divert the time. Roots Gaming looked to be another interesting team for the upcoming year. After finishing 15th in Winter 24, they survived a relegation series over Renascor, and then were able to work their way up to 10th in our Spring 24 season. They have the same lineup of Limu, Lexa, Sokolo, Nordsman, and Vodi on defense, Yontes between the pipes. So again, a bit of a rarity to see that much lineup stability. Brings us to the Blackjacks, a team that was kind of known for lineup stability for a good amount of time. Back-to-back 8th place finishes in both the winter and spring seasons, with quarterfinals losses to Tunnel Vision and Valakoitinen. They have seen some changes, though, over the last calendar year. The departure of their original captain, Originalsness, as well as the departures of Fopatoflin, McSavid, and Simbano. But stepping in to fill the gaps, Psycho Skills from Deadly Phantoms, his first season in Elite since Spring 23, while Kosti will man the blue paint, arriving from Besic Pompa. Easy for me to say. Shout out to Kosti, though. The big question mark, and that's where I was getting ahead of myself, it's Villain stepping up to be the center as opposed to his more familiar spot on defense. He'll be between Kermit and Timothy, while Psycho Skills joins Tony on defense. The big question is, with these changes, can they make it back to the playoffs? Can they finally get that first playoff series victory that they've been waiting a very, very long time for? Another one of those teams to get into the Elite Division, this one in particular, at the last minute, it is Tiki Talk, who will be stepping in for Almost Famous. And you know, we've mentioned them a couple of times now, along with Renascor, you know, these teams that were in these relegation battles that were so close to qualifying in the past. Tiki Talk's going to get that opportunity. But as we look at their lineup, it's an interesting one. Tamex, first Elite action since ECL 9. A rookie in Vale. Played ECL Winter 24 with Valko as a depth player. No spring action to speak of. It's Party Time on the right. First Elite action since ECL 9. Savinainen spent Spring 24 in Light. This will be his first Elite action since ECL 10. Pensasmis, a rookie was in light for spring 24 with Bushwhackers and then 2 rookie goaltenders. It's a very interesting lineup to look at. I've seen a lot of people say this will be the team that we don't expect to do well and will finish last. We have seen some crazier things, but it is definitely a lineup that a lot of people are overlooking. I'm intrigued to see what they can do. Again, we have seen some crazy things happen in the Elite Division before. Up next, let's talk about Totarit after a very interesting 24, both winter and spring. For the winter season, they finished in 9th, just outside of the playoffs, but jumped all the way to 4th place in our spring campaign. However, they did lose in the quarterfinals to EXEN in a sweep. And again, it feels like a rarity to see the same exact lineup projected, but that is what we are seeing, right? For winter 24 into spring, just Profilipaki and Koloslav carried over, so there were a lot of questions that needed to be answered, but Harlowy, Oyala, Sigasormi, and Stammer not only answered those questions, but again, they made that big jump up. Very intrigued to see how they can do this year. Very much expected to get back into the playoffs, and certainly going to want to make up for the shortcomings of last season. Brings us to our next team. Let's keep it going. Why not? As we have Unwanted. Of course, we heard from Sooth not all that long ago. Unwanted back-to-back 7th place finishes, back-to-back quarterfinals losses to, well, formerly now known as Strikers in a 6 and 7 game series. They bring over Loxen, who was with Purification in Elite last season. And of course, couple of interesting options as well. They bring over Beestrom from Purification, Sundstrom in goal, who was with Gotham Knights and had a 79% save percentage despite that team getting relegated. I'm intrigued to see if those additions are enough, who ends up being in a little bit more of a depth role. Again, Unwanted are just another one of those teams that are looking to take that big time step forward. We'll see if they're able to do so. Vesapampa, of course, still hanging around in Elite. It was another kind of up and down season for them, or set of seasons, should I say. 6th place in Winter 24, losing in the semifinals to Tunnel Vision in a sweep, and then down into 11th place in our spring campaign. And it brings us to the final team to talk about. I mentioned previously known as Strikers. Let's talk about Invincible? Well, time will tell. We'll see if they can live up to their namesake after another disappointing season without an Elite Championship, losing in the semifinals in both ECL 24 seasons. Have they finally found the right combination of players? Time will tell. But again, those are the 16 teams in the Elite Division this season. And ultimately, those 16 teams are looking to be one of just 2 that can make it to the finals. Dare we say the live finals, because we will be back at Assembly for a live final on February 20th. Tickets are available as well. Allow me to make sure that I get this accurately here, because we will be taking the main stage on Thursday, February 20th. And as an ECL 25 licensed player, as a license holder, you are entitled to request a free ticket. Again, that is for ECL 25 player license holders. There will be a link in chat and in the description. So again, if you are a player, make sure to join us there. Make sure to join me there. I know I'm making the trip back over this February. Going to be very, very excited to be back. And it's going to be a great time. There was some magic on that stage at Assembly 2 years ago for the not only ECL Elite Division final, but the World Final as well. And I have a hunch no matter who makes it to the final stage this time out, it'll be a very interesting series. Again, February 20th, live at Assembly. Make sure to get your tickets. Make sure to get to that event if you can, and support us, and of course, catch what is guaranteed to be a good series. That's right, I guaranteed it.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
And just like that, practically with a snap of the fingers, we're ready to talk about some pro division action as well. Very excited, as always, to see how our second tier plays out. And this season, well, it's left, a little bit of a vacuum here with some of the teams out of the way. Almost Famous, the Fallon Coal Miners. Plenty of teams have playoff experience. Plenty of teams have players with elite experience. Who is going to take that crown now that those spots are open? Who's going to take that step up and earn their way to elite next season? We will find out. But a couple of the teams, couple of the players that I wanted to mention here, and again, I'm not going to be able to mention everybody, but as always, sportsgamer.gg, we have written articles as well that can go a little bit more in depth than I can here, at least when I have to mention everything going on for this first edition of the show. But let's talk about some of these teams. I want to kick things off with Deadly Phantoms, a quarterfinal loss to Almost Famous in spring of 24. But it is worth noting, a couple of the players that they have with that elite experience. You have someone like RPH, third in goalie wins last season. Profane Kiss was sixth in goal scoring, so Deadly Phantoms always looking to be one of those teams in the hunt to get back to the elite division. You have Owned a Hexa as well. Have to shout out Adri. I don't know if you prefer to go by Adrif, but I imagine, I know the name is Adrian. Adri is what I'm going with. Fifth in league scoring last year, fifth in goals with 38. Always going to be a player to keep an eye out on for the upcoming season. You also have a club like Otuksit with a first round playoff loss last season, but they do have players with that experience that we always talk about, whether it be Prasuiti. You have Roysto, who was fourth in goalie wins last year. I was going to say saves. I imagine you were up there as well. And Yukis on defense, who was fifth in scoring amongst defenders last season. We mentioned them a little bit earlier on. You also have the Gotham Knights that you need to keep an eye on for this upcoming season. They were pro champions, winning a 7-game series over Renascore in Winter 24, but finished dead last in Elite last season. But a big addition this year, coming over from the Golden Sticks, it's Lucipro, 9th in scoring, 8th in goals. That might just be the difference maker player to get Gotham Knights back into Elite. Some more teams and names of note. Let's talk about Vizio. They're always going to be in the mix despite a first round playoff loss this past spring. Artuzio, 8th in scoring, always dangerous. Nova, another team that lost in the first round in spring, but you have Nestor, 10th in scoring, 9th in goals last season. Baronizer, and a name I'm always going to keep an eye out for, King of Apes. We'll see how much he ends up playing this season. SSK Esports with Yonta between the pipes, highest save percentage for a starter goalie in pro that is still in pro. Certainly someone who is capable of backstopping a team to success, someone who might get a look at Elite sooner rather than later, one way or another. Zenigime, a team promoted from Light last season. They have MCH, who was in pro and was first in defensive scoring. A big acquisition for them to try and maintain a spot. Refuse to Lose, the latest team to qualify for pro, winning a last-second series this past weekend. Keep an eye out for them. The team name that for some reason I struggle with the most, we have Mythix, a semifinals loss to Almost Famous this past spring. They nearly earned promotion again, as we talked about. They are on the cusp. They have a lot of players with pro and elite experience. They're always going to be dangerous. You have Poggers, who finished 14th in ECL Elite Winter for the 24 campaign. They did lose a relegation series. They had a quarterfinals loss this last spring in pro, but a couple of dangerous players as always. Getomasi was 3rd in league scoring, 5th in goals. Yakari was 6th in points, and Samilandia 2nd in goalie wins. Keep an eye out on Poggers. They could easily end up back in Elite next season. And the final team of note, No Street Sports, Tapu, Atsas, and Hisa, second in league scoring with 40 goals last year. Again, for every team, there are names to remember. Every team thinks they can be the ones. At least I imagine. Let me know if you're on the team that doesn't think that you can push for a playoff spot, maybe make some magic happen and end up in Elite. But the Pro Division, always exciting, and I'm very interested to see how it plays out this year. Now, before we move on to talking about our next division, we also have something else that we wanted to make note of here, and that is the further emphasis on the ECL social program, a new initiative here from us at SportsGamer, trying to get you guys that are on the teams, the players themselves, to focus more on their social media presence to help make these broadcasts that much better. We want to showcase the nastiest goals, the biggest hits, maybe some of your moments that you're not so proud of, but we want to make sure that we can highlight all of that across these broadcasts on social media. So be sure if something happens that you want to showcase for one reason or another, make sure to grab that clip. Make sure to record your games. Do what you have to do. Get those clips to us. We want to spotlight the best content that we can throughout the season, especially, of course, if it takes place away from our featured broadcast. So again, the new ECL social program, that new initiative, make sure to get involved. Help us out here to make these broadcasts that much better and to make sure that you get the attention that you need, not just if you're in the Elite Division, but all throughout the ECL. With that out of the way, let's get to talking about the ECL Light Division, our third tier here for the ECL at SportsGamer. And this is around the time where my familiarity starts to drop. And that's not necessarily something I'm happy with, because as I mentioned with the Pro Division, we know that the Light Division can deliver some of the best action that you will see throughout an ECL season, although this is certainly the time. You know, Elite Division, hey, some of the names I might still get wrong on occasion. Pro Division, I'm trying to get better. You'll have to forgive me for the Light Division. Don't be afraid to call me out. Hey, I want to get better. I want to know, but just warning you ahead of time. Let's talk about some of the teams and some of the players to keep an eye out on this season in our Light Division. Starting off, want to mention on Ace Squad with Deline, who was 10th in scoring last season, 9th in goals. You have Puck Over Glass with a big acquisition from Vitos Vitia, bringing in Kaniko, who was 6th in scoring amongst defenders last year. You have last season's Tier 4 core champions in Koke Esports taking the step up into Light. Definitely looking for another promotion, I would think. If not, let me know. That would be weird if you weren't thinking you could make it to the next tier. Believe in yourselves. I believe in you. Is that enough? We'll find out. You have a team with perhaps the best logo in the division, Boomers, with a lot of pro and elite experience between Zip Player, Jinu, Karki, Datzoni. A lot of players to keep an eye on. Again, so many eyes that you need. It's ridiculous. You have Woodhands with Kukasi, who was 6th in league scoring last year. The previously mentioned on a couple of occasions, Vitos Vitia with another name that, you know, I look at it and then my brain just breaks. But Silicon Timo, 6th in league scoring, 7th in goals. Keep an eye out on them. They also had Yambolo, maybe my favorite name that I've got to say so far today, who was 3rd in scoring amongst defenders. HC Pustertal Esports with some experienced players and a new goalie acquisition in Ruza Kuza, who was 3rd in goalie wins with Mites last season. You have the core runners-up as well, the Dara Stars taking a step up, the VBO Stars with some names you'd be familiar with from the Elite Division, Kachin, E-Bastion, Bror, and then also worth mentioning Hockey Holics and Visions, who was 7th in league scoring. I'm always going to miss some teams that probably deserve a shout out, always going to miss some players, but let me know. Who are you keeping an eye out on in the Light Division this season? And while you let me know that, I will find a new expression to use other than keep an eye out on It's my preseason 2 here, folks. Now, I mentioned we had a lot to get to here on this broadcast. Before we get to taking a look at the core division, we have another SportsGamer-centric announcement here, as it is the introduction of the health and performance program that we want to talk about here. As an ECL 25 player license holder, you are entitled to a free introduction to said health and performance program. Let's take it over to Anna Karin in Espoo, who can tell us a little bit more.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the SportsGamer Health and Performance Program. Today we introduce to you the whole program. We start with a short workout just to get the body moving, and after that Kenneth and Mirko will discuss the benefits of healthy lifestyle and exercise that also will improve your gaming quality. Ready, guys? Yep. Let's get started! Woohoo! Okay, so we open up the chest and we start by rolling down towards the floor. Bend your knees, roll down, and roll up. Yes, we do this a couple of more times. So chin to chest, roll down towards the floor, bend the knees, and roll up. We do this one more time. Okay, so roll down. This is a really nice exercise for the back, for the spine. And then inhale and open up the chest, and exhale round the back. Give yourself a big hug. Let's see. Inhale, open up, yes, and exhale round the back. 2 more times. And when you inhale, you also activate the muscles in the upper back, and exhale round the back. 1 more time. Inhale, open up, and exhale round your back. Yes. Place your hands on your shoulders and do circles around. Yes, do circles around. You can also slightly bend the knees to get movement for the whole body. Yes. Also bend the knees, sit down a bit, so it's almost a squat. 1 more time. Yes, and then just leave the arms and we sit down in a deeper squat. So we activate the legs, we activate the glutes, and we come all the way up. Continue like this, just sit down, squeeze the heels to the ground, and then come up. Yep. 4 more times. Can you come lower? Yes, good, good, good. 3 more times, so down. And you can feel it in the legs and in the glutes, right? 2 more times. Yes. And then 1 more. And up. Something super important is to do twists for the back. So hands to the front. Open up the arm to the side. Yes. And then to the front. Yes. So open up to the side. Yes. And then to the front. So open up, you follow, yes, and to the front. 1 more time, open up, yes. So we can also do the twist here. You can bend the elbows and then just do a quicker movement from side to side. How does this feel in your back? Pretty good. Oh yes, it does feel pretty good. I like it too. So just from side to side, do the movement and breathe. 3 more times. 3, 2, and 1. Yep. And then the neck, okay? So relax your face, open up your mouth a little bit, and just do circles around. Yes, so open up your mouth a bit so you make sure that you don't bite your teeth together. From side to side or all the way around. 1 more time. And change direction. Do circles around. We do this one 2 more times. And 1 more time. And then arms to the front. Round your back. Look for a stretch in the upper back. And then just do movement from side to side. Can you feel the stretch in the upper back? Yes, that's the one we're looking for. And then we do the opposite. We cross the fingers behind the back and we open up the chest. At the same time, you lift your arms up a bit. Open up the chest, and can you now feel the stretch in the shoulders? Yes. Open up, open up. So one more time, arms to the front and just round the back and do a movement from side to side. Look for a stretch in upper back. And then cross your fingers behind the back. Cross your fingers and open up the chest. Can you feel a stretch here? Yes, lift up your arms a bit as well. Yes. Good, well done. And then just shake your arms, shake your legs. Last one, just do some rolls, roll around. So you can also get some movement for the hip area. Yes, can you maybe feel a stretch in the hamstrings in the back and in the hip flexor in the front? And to the other side, circles around. Yes, 2 more times around. This is the last one. Yes, and then we are done. So, high five. Woohoo! Hyvä, hyvä, wow, hyvä. See you.
All right, so that just happened. I'm Ken with SportsGamer, and we're here to talk about the SportsGamer Health and Performance Program. Mirko is here with me to share his side of things. And Mirko, maybe you want to introduce yourself to start with?
Yeah. Hello, everybody. My name is Mirko Karainen. Actually, my full-time job is football coaching, but I'm specialized in neuroscience and affecting players and coaches' subconscious mind. And today we are going to talk more about how can you affect your subconscious mind through exercises that you are actually getting better quality of gaming.
Yeah, so as you can see, Mirko is obviously the more qualified person to be here today. And don't worry, you won't be seeing much of me during this program, but I will also be committing to doing the exercises and getting in shape because, as Mirko just said, being in better physical condition will help you with your gaming as well.
Yeah, and especially of moments like actually what we did was pretty easy.
Yeah.
And with those movements, you can actually start by doing them step by step. And when we are going to, let's say example that you are playing NHL and you are top of your form, you are having a peak experiences, you are having your peak performances, you are in your flow stage. You know what I'm talking about in there.
Yeah.
And then you start to play, you play. But have you had an idea that when you have played 3, 4, 5 games in a row, that your performance level starts to drop? Have you had that experience?
Constantly. I would say even after 2, 3 games, you really have to make an effort to stay focused. So
yeah,
taking a break or doing a little exercise might definitely help. And like you said, that exercise was easy, but at the same time, I have to say those are not muscles that I use every day. So
yeah,
I think it's very good and important to take care of yourself.
Yeah. What actually happens in our brain that when we are focused like 30 minutes, let's say example that you are playing 2 NHL games, you are using your deep work capacity that you have around 4 hours per day of your deep work capacity. So when you're focusing on 30 minutes really hard on something, you start to actually lose the focus because of the dopamine levels, example, in our brain starts to drop. So when you start to play your 3rd game after 30 minutes, you start to see that you are not really aware of what can you do better to improve your game and get the quality back on the first level. One of the things that you can start by doing is after the 30 minutes, stop. Take control on the ground or on the table. Stand up. Do what example we did in here. Go walk to the forest. When you walk for 5, 10, 15 minutes, you actually restart your brain. So when you have played 30 minutes really hard, then you stop, go for something else. you actually improve your gaming quality because you let your subconscious mind to work on the things what you can improve. So when you're actually coming back on gaming, you start to see different kind of patterns. You start to evolve your game because you have not stuffed your brain with everything about the NHL. You have actually done something else. And exercise is so good because it actually is one of the most effective ways to restart your brain.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely recognize, say you're playing Hot Champs or FIFA or EAFC Champs games, and you have a losing streak of 4 games, and you just keep losing and losing and losing, and then stepping away from the game and coming back hours later or the day later, and you can have a completely different experience. So I completely buy that. Now, of course, in some situations like ECL games, league games, where you have to play at least 2 games in a row, plus maybe the warm-up, maybe you can't just tell your teammates, oh, I'm going to go for a walk to the forest. But conceptually, I think you can do shorter things between the games, and then of course, think about the big picture when you're talking about hours and hours of gaming, for example.
Yeah. The most important thing is for you to step out of the computer. Imagine this is our gaming setting here. You have your computer or your PlayStation or your Xbox in here. You're sitting in here, you're playing. What our brains is that it's focused on just one thing. When you can step out of it, it is enough for you to leave from your desk and actually step out from it and go to different room, go to your example living room, go to kitchen, and 5 minutes or just a couple of minutes, do something else and then come back. It already restarts your brain because your brain doesn't recognize the past, the now moment, or the future. Your beliefs is actually determining what are you thinking, how you are acting, and how you are feeling. So when you remove yourself from the situation that you were just in, you can actually have more quality when you come back.
And probably better self-reflection as well. And I think this is a whole big other can of worms that we won't be diving into now, but maybe you could, in a few sentences, say what happens if instead of stepping to that kitchen or other room or forest, instead you browse TikTok in that meanwhile. I mean, we're all guilty of sometimes, even in the period breaks, you gotta look up a couple TikTok videos. I would assume that has the exact opposite effect.
Yeah, when we scroll down social media, it actually decreases our adrenaline, dopamine levels as fast as playing games. So when you are actually scrolling TikTok, you are having more basically load to the next game that you actually had in a previous game because you have not restarted. So I highly recommend to just step out, do small exercise, because you can start like rewiring your brain step by step. And what are the things, for your opinion, when we go and play the next game, what are the most important thing that NHL players or FIFA players or nowadays FC players, sorry for the audience in there. I'm old school FIFA player, so I'm going to use FIFA still.
I'm sure everybody's going to have that FIFA EXEN problem for years.
So what are the things when you have stepped it out and then come back and played, what are the things that you are already aware what changes you have made? Have you tried this?
Yeah, I would say the biggest change for me might be mental state. I might be aggravated from losing a game. I might be really pissed off from losing and making a mistake or whatever, and then you just end up in this, what do you call it, like a snowball effect of losing, and being aggravated. So I think calming down is like the first thing. And the second thing is usually mid-game when you're gaming, you don't necessarily have time to analyze what you actually did wrong or right. So stepping away will let your brain either consciously or subconsciously, I would assume, you get to replay that stuff, and it becomes much more apparent what you need to change if you need to make some changes.
Yeah, 99% of our thoughts is in our subconscious mind, so most of the thoughts are coming from our subconscious mind. But in summary, if we go through that, just try it, try it. I will promise you, you will get better at gaming, and you will improve the gaming quality just by stepping back. Stepping back from your own desk, do exercises, rewrite your brain, come back stronger, come back more emotional ready, as you mentioned, to the next game. And I would love to have the feedback also that what have you gained out of this 30 minutes that you have done in your home? But Kenu, what have you gained from this couple of minutes discussion?
Well, I think a lot of what's the word? Confirmation of my own biases and thoughts, and obviously hearing it from you from a scientific background is very valuable. And I think it's important to remember that 90 minutes of focused gaming with a purpose and really focusing on what you do and not getting sucked into the losing or the TikTok or whatever is so much more valuable than 4 hours of mindless gaming. So focusing on what you do, stepping away consciously, whatever you're doing, focus on what you're doing. I think that's at least what I need to focus on more.
Yeah, that's all from my side. I hope in your home, I hope Kenu has gained something. And also from my part, I'm also guilty of not always doing this. So in home, don't feel bad if you're not doing this 100%. Do it 80% of the time, and you will be better player as 99% of other players that are playing the game. I will promise you.
Yeah, thank you, Mirko, and I hope you all enjoyed that little bit of knowledge, and join us for our program.
Yeah.
And let's get a little bit healthier together.
Yeah.
I promise to do it.
Me too. Me too.
See you next time.
Thank you.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
We have a couple of players and teams to mention here as we talk about the core division as we look to get things started here for this new season. First and foremost, a club to keep an eye on, Armesian Curry, 4th place finish last season. Certainly going to be looking to take that step up. You have the Cape Town Kings, who had a quarterfinals loss in spring. They have Sambleri, who was 4th in scoring last season, and Kazaster. I hope that's the way you say that name because it's beautiful, who was 4th in scoring amongst defenders last season. Want to make note of the Prowlers, who had a quarterfinals loss last season. Hanu, though, the core leading scorer from last season, is on this team still. So certainly somebody to keep an eye out on. But not only do they have the core leading scorer from last season, they had the winningest goaltender, who also had the top save percentage amongst all starters, Tizieflin. So keep an eye out on Prowlers. Certainly a dangerous team on paper. Panic on ice. Certainly a star player to mention, and that is Pananen. Of course, formerly of the Elite Division, who was 1st in scoring amongst defenders last year. Speaking of defenders, shout out to Sammy on Nameless, who was 3rd in scoring amongst defenders last year. The Carmadillos, tremendous name, rocking Stimperi, who was 2nd in goals last season on HC Polisari. So a big addition for the Dillos, 32 goals in 22 games. And then, of course, our Neo champions from last season who earned that next step up in Dynamo HC, unless it's Dynamo, but Dynamo certainly makes it sound a bit more prestigious, and they deserve that prestige after winning a Neo last season. And speaking of Neo, hey, let's talk about it briefly. And I do mean briefly, of course, because the Neo division is our lowest tier, our entry-level tier here at the ECL. So more often than not, you don't have too many teams that stick around in this bottom tier. Either they're taking that next step up, or maybe saying, okay, maybe that's not quite what we were expecting. Let's regroup a little bit and bring back a stronger team a little bit down the road. But every once in a while, of course, you do have a team that does stick around. And that brings us to Dave Mythix, who had a semifinals loss to Man Cave last season. So go, Dave. We're rooting for you. So was it a perfect return for yours truly to the sports gamer scene? Probably not. Let's be honest. I feel like I'm a little bit rusty, but I promise at the very least, the effort's there, the excitement's there. It is so, so great to be back here again after a season away. Very excited to see how the action plays out. And again, I know I threw a lot at you here for this first edition of the wraparound, but we are going to be back here every week trying to cover as much as we possibly can. So as we mentioned throughout the video, again, the season kicking off, we have broadcasts Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 1945 CET. That is 1:45 p.m. Eastern for those of you on the North American side of things. And again, as always, sportsgamer.gg for all the information that you need. We have full-on articles out about the ability bands that we talked about. We have breakdowns for each league, the information that you need, again, about our live final in the Elite Division at Assembly on February 20th. Everything that you need to know is there. The EA Social program, the Health and Performance program, all that fun stuff, especially the social program, though. Again, I want to make this show as fun as it possibly can be, get as many highlights going as we can, but the bar is going to be high, all right? It's going to be a high standard on here. Right? We try to keep things on the up and up, even if, you know, all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's November, the season's starting. Should probably get this show done. With that, everybody, thank you so much for joining me here again. We'll be back very, very soon. For now, enjoy the action of the opening week as the ECL is back underway. A big thank you, as always, to Kovalon Locracy for sponsoring us here at SportsGamer, and I will see you all very, very soon.
Problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The 30 is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone in progression, it's all that I wanted. A foe in affection, I summon and dub it.
Imagine I'm good at the talk.
päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. A foe in affection, I summon and dub it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SportsGamer, and welcome to the start of a brand new season here with the ECL Elite Division. My name is Tugi, and it is so good to be back here covering everything going on, of course, at SportsGamer. Big thank you to all of you that tuned in to the first edition of the wraparound that aired before this. But for the most part, the time for talking is done. We are just a few minutes away from getting the action underway, as mentioned, for a brand new season. And we get to kick things off, hopefully without audio issues, but we'll see. Time will tell. We do get to kick things off with the start of a brand new season for multiple things going on. But for now, I'm going to stall. Maybe I can mime things. Maybe I can, we can hear you, it's just a bit choppy. Well, that's good to know. What if I talk very slowly? Now, what if I talk legitimately? It wouldn't be the start of a new season without some things going on. There's a little bit of rust, you know, just a little bit. But the good thing is, it's what the start of the season's here for, and apparently we're still not fixed. So apparently me talking in slow motion only worked so much. Well, we'll wait for the go-ahead. We'll wait for the go-ahead. Try talking really fast. I can do that. I'll talk about how Kenu should be in here. Right now, we should air his dance video one more time. He calls it a workout video. It's not a workout video, man. It's a dance video. He just wants to showcase the moves that he has. You might think, like, there's just no way that guy's fleet of foot, but I can tell you, he's not, actually. He's not. He's rather athletic. Every time we play floorball, I completely show him up. Let's not talk about the last time we played floorball together, and I fell right on my behind. Split it right in two. What a day. What a time. If only there were some stats. If only there were some stats to talk about. If only. Well, the good news is, I've had a lot of experience of just being able to kill time while we try to sort things out. A lot of times, the camera's not on for that. A lot of times, this type of stuff is just gone forever. But no, you guys get to witness it now, and I'm very excited to watch this stream back and see just how bad these issues were. So, what I'll say, we need your... have agility in the first place, right? Because how can I talk about something that doesn't exist? You get what I'm saying? Like, how can I talk about the agility if there is no agility? So see, that's all I had to do was just talk about how Kenu's just the worst, the absolute worst, and audio issues fix itself. There you go. Well, everybody, let's run the intro again. No, not the actual intro, but hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me now. It looks like you can, which is good. Hi, it's great to be back here at SportsGamer. Technical difficulties and all. What a way to kick off a brand new season, right? This is why we try to normally get some preseason broadcasts in there for everybody, not just the players. But unfortunately for the players, unlike with me, we don't necessarily have, we don't necessarily have time to get things going. They don't necessarily have time to get things going. The season's here. We're going to be getting it started very, very shortly. So I hope they are a little bit more ready than it appeared we happen to be for the start of this season. And it's all Kenu's fault, let me tell you. As always, we have 2 head-to-head matchups to cover here on this broadcast. We'll be kicking things off with Mythix taking on Roots Gaming, and a little bit later on, it is EXEN squaring off with Unwanted. Of course, no stats to cover for the start of this season. It will be the first 2 games that these clubs have played. Again, we talked about it in the wraparound. You have Mythix, previously known last season as Beer Club and Esports, but still here within the Elite Division for this season. And Roots on the other side, just a consistent threat in the Elite Division over the last couple of seasons. And one of those teams that, again, will be looking to take that step forward to get into those playoff positions. And, who's to say? There's been a lot of interesting conversation surrounding season predictions. Some of them serious, some definitely not trolling on the social media side of things. Although I, for one, am all for second place Polsky boys. I am intrigued to see if that one, it lives up to the, to the prediction. That's the fun with predictions, right? But as we did mention in the wraparound, of course, hey, we want to know from you guys, how do you think the standings are going to play out? Let us know in chat. Let us know on the social media side of things, as a lot of people have done so far. But again, we kick it off with these 2 teams. Let's get a look at the lineups for this one. And of course, we're not going to have too much in the way of stats to roll with either. For Mythix, there has been some debate. Is it Bobby? Is it Bobby? Is he him? We'll find out. Mythix might want him to be him at the end of the day. Valley down the middle, Kolaslav on the right. On the defensive side, Mickey's and Weeducks with Rico in goal. Looking real jacked, baby. Real jacked. Putting the team on his back. And we'll see if, again, they can make it back into a playoff situation. On the other side, Limu, Lexa, Sokolo, the front 3 for Roots Gaming, with Nordsman and Vodi on defense, and Yontes between the pipes. And in terms of the head-to-head, we might still go that way. We might scrap it really quickly because of the audio. I don't know. I'll leave it up to our lovely producer here, who's been working his tail off. And there you go. We will get down to the head-to-head. We talked about it quite a bit in regards to the wraparound. I'm going to keep mentioning the wraparound because you need to go watch it. You need to. If you missed it, what's the matter with you? Go watch it. Not right now, though. I mean, later on, of course. But looking at Valley and Lexa, again, Lexa has been here in the Elite Division now for quite a while, I think is the right way to put it. Roots have kind of had a bit of a tumultuous run. We talked about it. 15th place in Winter 24, 10th place in Spring 24, and one of the few teams to be keeping the same lineup that they had last season. And for Mythix, you talk about the questions that every team is going to have heading into a new season. They are one of those other teams that has essentially kept the same lineup, with the exception of Takedown joining in from Hamo as a tandem option in goal. But, a 6th place finish last season, losing in the quarterfinals to the now dearly departed Tunnel Vision. We'll see what these 2 teams can do and kind of who can get off to that better start, as both clubs are going to be looking to make it back into the playoff side of things. Again, in terms of talking about the stats, we don't have much to go off of. You look, of course, at the winger side by side, and, there's going to be a lot of zeros here again as well. But, we won't go off of the drip rating. We know who's going to win off of that one. I mean, that's a landslide right there. We've seen some landslide award voting in our time here at SportsGamer. If we're going off of the drip and off of the vibes, we know who's winning this one. So we'll throw it over to the defensive matchup here next. And always interesting to see how a newer game is going to change things. There's been a lot of topic of conversation in regards to many different gameplay aspects. Checking, certainly one of them. Truculence is good to go for this season. We talked about that as well in the wraparound, how you have the only banned ability being Big Tipper. And it makes me wonder if we are going to see that incredibly consistent physical play from Vodi, especially, who has consistently been one of the more physical, not just defensemen, but players in the Elite Division season after season. And it feels like with Truculence being able to be used, I imagine that's the direction he's going to be going. I'm excited to see, of course, the builds as well. I don't even think he needs Truculence to play that super physical game, but that's where that topic of conversation is coming for NHL 25. And in terms of the drip rating, I mean, Mythix just running away with it at the moment. But Roots isn't in it for the drip. They're in it for the win. Let's take a look at the goaltending matchup here, as again, we are just a few moments away from puck drop. A game apiece, home and home for these two teams. And then, of course, our second matchup later on in this broadcast, EXEN against Unwanted. That is a big time matchup, to say the least. But again, it is Rico against Yantas, and two goaltenders that, you know, you look at some of the goalies over the past 2 to 3 years that have kind of risen to that status of being one of the best in the league. Some of those guys now taking a bit of a step back. It does open the door a little bit for people to make that statement that, hey, I am one of the best in this division. And maybe one of these two will be taking that step up next. So again, it is Mythix and Roots Gaming coming up in just a matter of moments. The season kicks off, as you know, highly anticipated as always is the winter season when it comes to, you know, again, the start of a new year, the differences in the gameplay. And I think this season is looking like there might be a slightly different outcome compared to what we would have thought a couple of weeks ago before a patch. You know, how much are teams going to emphasize the idea of a one-timer based offense, especially with Big Tipper out of the conversation? You know, the European side of things, we have seen the heavy emphasis on puck possession, puck moving defensemen. It's been the go-to, the meta for a while now. I'm not expecting it to change too much, but who knows? I've been pleasantly surprised in the past. But worth noting, of course, this is just our first broadcast of the week. It is a busy week of action here for us at SportsGamer. We have our Tuesday Pro Division coverage coming up tomorrow, and then Wednesday as well. We'll be right back here with the Elite Division. So, as always, excited to see how things are going to play out. But again, we are just moments away from puck drop in the first game of this new season. 16 teams, 30 regular season games. Top 8 make it to the playoffs, and we'll see what happens from there. Arguably, the field is as wide open as it has been for quite some time. Talked about it in the wraparound. No more tunnel vision. The consistent threat to be crowned champions for the last 3 years or so. Will that open up that opportunity for some other teams to take that step up? And of course, members of that team did step into predominantly 2 different clubs. But you get a look there at the setups, and, you know, not surprising to see some 1Ts on the wing. Definitely more of a defensive emphasis, though, from the Roots forwards. And yeah, no surprise to see Truculence on both defenders for Roots as well. So we'll see how this plays out. Again, it is game 1 of 2 kicking off this new season, Mythix against Roots, as we want to thank you all for joining us. And again, as always, if you are new around here, sportsgamer.gg, all the information that you need. 10 ping, that's a little bit high for this region, and that'll frustrate some people on the North American side of things, I am sure. But we will see how this plays out. A big time opportunity for both of these clubs to get this season started off on the right foot. And again, first game of just 4 as we kick off this new season. Let's get it underway. It is, of course, Roots in their darker home jerseys. And I don't even know how you describe the color of the Mythix unis. But I like it. It's a different look for sure. They work it up the left-hand side here, quickly poked back. How much will the neutral zone trap be a factor? A little bit of trouble there in front. Nordsman in control here. And he and Vody will slow it down. Get that control breakout 5 back from Mythix early on, and an easy pick off there for Koloslav. Up ahead to Volley. Not able to go too far. Active stick work here. Get it down into that left-hand corner. Bumped off the puck. Still, though, Mythix able to maintain control. Koloslav back down low. The hit's already racking up for Roots. There's another one to knock that puck free, and a chance now on the counterattack. Nordsman trying to step up. Cut there along the blue line, the force back. Another pass across. Good look. Ultimately picked off. And Mythic's going to take their time here. A little bit of space for Colas off the feed in front. Great stop there. Yontas challenged in the early stages of the first period. Roots on the counterattack. Down low in the corner. Back to Nick, kick back to Vody at the point. Good hit there, though. Free that puck. Numbers now for Mythix if they can work quickly enough. The feed in front. Defense on the collapse. Able to take it away. Limu getting back. Nordsman stepping up for Roots. Head at the line. Koloslav. Slow things down for Mythix. It is that back and forth approach here. Both teams looking for that 5 at the back trap, but not really able to stifle the other team's zone entry so far. Redux, the feed into the middle, stuck on the backhand, able to get it towards goal, and Deontes is able to cover. And halfway through the first period, just 2 shots on goal. In the early stages, we'll see what happens on this face-off. High up play. Koloslav nearly got it back. Crucial pick off there from Nordsman as this puck goes all the way down. Racing with 8:44 to go here in the first period. Time on attack there. Still under a minute for Roots Gaming thus far. Kick back to the point. Mythix rack up more ozone time, trying to find those high-quality chances. Feed in front again, and so close yet so far. Roots defense having to come up with that last second. Get a contact and knock that puck free. Nordsman, the dump and chase. Into the corner, the follow-up pass doesn't go. Mythix looking for a quick counterattack here. We'll be back to Koloslav. One-timer there from the point, and a good save by Yontas. Hasn't been challenged too many times officially, but just 3 shots on goal. And there have been some close looks for Mythix so far, getting the better of the offensive play. A little bit of extracurricular there as well. Again, just 3 shots early on. Puck possession always emphasized in the Elite Division. Face-off win in full pressure here. Nice pick-off to stop the counterattack, and a broken stick on the 1T for Koloslav. Cursing the decision of the devs to have broken sticks in the game still, I am sure. Roots into the attacking zone, but they are exhausted. They do have possession here, though. Nordsman looking, bides his time, not able to find that backwards pass. Just 3.5 minutes to go here in the first. Mythix looking to break in. Koloslav back to the center. Good shot there, and another save by Yontas. Nordsman will slow it down once again. You can see there, though, from Mythix, they're not immediately dropping back as far. I think they do see the opportunity to force the turnover at the opposing blue line. There's a dump here. Didn't look like that was designed, and they'll back off with 1 minute to go. Here in the first period, Roots looking for a bit of a snatch and grab here. They've been outplayed in this first period, not really able to get anything going. A shot, a pass back in front. Unfortunate there for Vody that 1T was essentially picked off by his own teammate. One last chance here for Mythix. Contact at the line, and time will expire. So a very promising start for Mythix here in the first period. but nobody able to find the back of the net. Of course, for Roots, plenty of physicality as we expected to see. But of course, that physicality, can it lead to goals? Yes. Did it? Obviously not. Didn't even really lead to that many chances for them in that first period. Yantes needed to come up with a couple of big saves. And again, you get a look there at the numbers. For the most part, all Mythix, and honestly, it's a bit impressive they were able to hang in there with them in terms of the physicality, which is very difficult to do when you have the puck the vast majority of the time. And you see there the big save by Yantes. See, not that many shot highlights to have to look at here, but Yantes will certainly take the screen time as we get ready for the second period of play. And as always, the action brought to you by our friends at Kovalan Lakritsi. It is the opening broadcast of a new Elite season here at SportsGamer. The Elite Division taking center stage. Mythix against Roots, the first game of two, as the first bit of trouble there in goal for Rico. A bit of friendly fire. He's able to cover that one up. 4 face off, 1 advantage so far. See what happens here on this face-off. High up play here for Roots, but they're not able to maintain possession. Stepping up into the play, Limu able to drop back there and help out just a little bit. As Bobby again throwing this, showing the speed. A great shot on there by Koloslav from the odd angle. That one kept out as well. Mythix looking to get back into the attacking zone. Bobby again looking to split the D. Still in a dangerous area. And another save by Yantes. 6 shots to 0 in favor of Mythix here in game number 1. Face off here in the attacking zone. Clean win though was picked off by Vodi, trying to lead down the other way. Had no help to work with. And Roots just completely discombobulated on a potential counterattack. Still looking for their first shot on goal in this contest. Another tie up there on the face-off. Good pick-off by Koloslav. Has 2 to beat. Takes his time. Good poke away by Nordsman. Roots again struggling a little bit on this breakout. We talked about it. Mythix going from a pretty heavy collapse, putting the front, the front foot forward and really trying to force those turnovers, sensing that they cause a bit of havoc. As Roots look to get established on the breakouts. There's another example. Loose puck, recovered shot off the post. A great look there from Wiedux stepping into the play. Roots trying to get something going here on the counterattack. A puck again picked off by Wiedux. The fine volley now up to Koloslav. Wordsman does a good job of breaking that one up. Halfway through this game, shot blocked, nearly some friendly fire yet again. Rico able to come up with it. The most dangerous looks for Roots have been thanks to the opposition themselves. Still no shots on goal in this one. Ozone face-off win though. Roots trying to get the work. A shot from Vodi, stopped by the blocker, and finally the goose egg is gone in the shots on goal category. Will be offside here though. Great job by volley yet again to kind of break things up, helping out his defense at the blue line. And you see there the passing percentages as well, certainly not helping out Roots all that much. Game's gone on, they've been forced into a lot more quick reactions and not always able to get those passes off. Mythix looking to counter here. Limu back to Koloslav. The bad luck continues for him. He's been in good spots to get good shots, and for one reason or another, it hasn't happened. And unfortunately here for Roots, they're going to be put into a pretty rough spot as Vody is off to the box. First man advantage of the game. Tripping is the call, and the Mythix power play will go to work. Season opener. First opportunity on the man advantage. Let's see what this Mythix unit can do here. Face off one and an immediate clear out. Great job by Lexa. Allow Roots to hopefully get established here. Ward's been able to pick that pass off, sends it right back down. Great start. Penalty kill effort. And mistimed at the line. Offside is the call. Power play nearly half over already. Great job for Roots. And of course, it's starting with Lexa down the middle. A great job on the faceoffs. Another offside call here against Mythix for as solid as they've looked to begin this game. Really struggling to get anything going on the power play. Again, now 30 seconds left on the man advantage. Find that breakout. The one-timer goes wide. Banks off the side of the net. An opportunity for Valley there to get a shot off. 4 seconds left as play stops. Roots doing their best to hold on here, as it does feel like the opening goal of this game could come from a broken play. The way the opportunities have gone so far. But here we go. Mythix win the draw. We are back to 5-on-5. Redux with the Mickeys. The feed in front, and they score. The first goal of the campaign. It's Valley as he finishes down the middle. And Mythix strike first. Let's get another look at that. A really nice feed from Mickeys there. And on the backhand, all alone in front, didn't need to elevate it at all. And the hard work and perseverance for Mythix pays off. They strike first in this game. Volley's first of the season, of course. First goal on broadcast here in the Elite Division. And just the first game of 2. Roots opportunity. The puck goes all the way through the blue paints. Nearly an instant response. Bodie tries to go across. Picked off by Redux. Now quickly back to Bobby trying to find his way through. Rips a shot on. Opportunities aplenty now. This game opening up a little bit after the opening goal. Swordsman, the one-timer. Good save there for Rico. His best save thus far, at least in this commentator's opinion. The feed now over the blue line. Knocked loose for the moment. Ball in the corner has options behind the nets. A bit of contact there. Scramble for the puck. Vody stepping up to try to keep it in. Defender again tries to go across, and Redux has been reading him like a book. But here's a 2-on-1 for Mythix. Tried the short side. Yonta sticks with them, and remember that save as they nearly doubled up their lead. But it will be a 1-0 lead for Mythix heading in to the second period. And there it was, right at the death. Honestly, that was just a great job by Yontas. I mean, not the most impressive save animation or anything like that, but very clearly stuck to the shooter. Another look at the goal there. Wasn't much he could do on that one. That is the difference maker thus far. Get a look at the numbers there very briefly at least, but 9 shots to 3 for Mythix. One more look at the goal here, as Mickey's avoiding trouble, and the second you saw the forward step up, able to find that pass. Nifty little backhand into the back of the net. That sets us up for this third period. Mythix in control of this game, but things can change on a moment's notice. See if Roots are able to find that offensive touch. Break up there. Breaking attempt. Vody stepping up here. Opportunity, and great job again by Mickey's. He takes a big hit from Vody, who tried to keep the offense going. Mythix here on the counterattack. Boleslav again trying to work with Bobby, not able to find anything. Sokolo tries to get past the defense, and the duo here for Mythix just continuing to stifle everything that Roots have thrown at them so far. But a step up leads space, and a good shot there. Stopped again by Rico. Hasn't been tested all that often in this game. Obviously just the 4 registered shots. Boleslav, quick pass. Short side attempt again. Yonta is able to make the save. Roots looking to get something going here. Down the other way. Nordsman, a penalty called. It will be the centerman. Volley to the box. We'll get a look at it. And that bump there, as he thought the force in front was coming, does lead to the penalty. And a golden opportunity now for Roots Gaming. Their first man advantage. Try and tie this game up. We're actually going to get a timeout here from the Mythix side of things. Get back to full stamina here. Again, Mythix power play opportunity earlier on. Not able to do much. We'll see what the PK unit can do. Boleslav on the face-off. Mentioned just the first game of 2 between these two clubs. A little bit later on, we'll be covering the 2-game set between EXEN and Unwanted. High up on the draw. Roots able to come up with it. The feed in the front, and they score. Broken play. But the end result that Roots needed. It's Sokolo finding the back of the nets. And we have ourselves a tie game. Scramble for the puck. The feed in front. Right place, right time. The veteran winger. Roots doing what Mythix could not, making the opposition pay for the penalty. As apparently there is a blackout in the arena for Mythix. First time I've seen this one. As there was a whistle. I could hear that in the background. This is admittedly a new one for me. I don't think I've seen this particular glitch yet this year. There's the pause. we were back briefly. I mean, I just guess, you know, our host is gonna have to. Yeah, we're gonna have a reset here. I was gonna say, unless you want to play on the pause screen for a good amount of time. That was something. I can't say that I have seen that particular glitch yet so far this year. There it is. We are gonna go for a bit of a restart here. Of course, the good thing is it is in a tied situation, so that's nice. But I'm intrigued from chat. Have you guys seen that one before? I've actually played a fair amount of club this year. Haven't seen that one yet. And as much as I talked about, hey, start of a new season, it's a new game. Will we see different approaches? What's the meta gonna be? Another element to all of this is, what are the glitches going to be? And we've seen a little bit of everything so far here in this broadcast. Obviously, we will give the two teams a moment to get things reestablished. And I don't know, should we throw to a break in the meantime? I, for one, would be very happy to see Kenna do more jumping jacks or something like that. But as far as I know, we will be getting the action right back underway very, very shortly. I appreciate the shout of the prediction in chat. Not going to be that easy for you. Yeah, you know, with that, we'll throw it over in this brief moment of an intermission, an unplanned intermission, and we'll be right back as the action continues once the two teams get set up.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
We are good to go. I believe we are back and ready upon the restart. Thank you all for sticking with us there. As you can see in the top left, our score is still officially 1-1 in what is going to be considered the third period. On a restart, a glitch that I can't say I've seen before, but it sets us up for an interesting third period here. Again, a tie game in the first game of the season, as Mythix looking to get right back in control of this game after giving up a power play equalizer from Sokolo that apparently was such a strong goal it broke the game. And again, I don't think it takes much. Good job there by Roots to break that up, and that will count as an offside. And first period, technically the third period. come up with this puck off the face-off. Nordsman spins back, didn't like what he saw. Try to get going here with speed. Nordsman will dump it in. Excellently done here by Roots. Is there a follow-up? Never mind, it's icing. I could have sworn they won that duel. They'll be hard-pressed by that one. Sets up Mythix down the other way. The attacking zone. Maintain control there. Bobby down low. Trying to work with Koloslav. Job by Roots there to recover. Apologies for any technical disruptions here. There's a shot on and an easy save for Rico. A hotly contested face-off battle. Bali and Lexus so far, and a clean win this time for Mythix. Turned over, though. Opportunity, tried to find Sokolo. Bobby was there to take it away. Big burst of speed for Mickey's into the attacking zone. Back to Koloslav. Good pick off by Nordsman, but can't maintain possession. Redux to Bobby. Tries to go across. Bodie's able to take it away. Mythix still in control. Bobby tried the deflection bit in front. Wraparound opportunity for Mickey's. That one still kept out. Mythix in control. Look, still no registered shots after the restart. Patience from Bobby down low goes all the way to the point to Mickey's. Had the feed in front. Limu was there to take it away. Still has it. Go up ahead. Mythix did a good job of patrolling their own line. Now on the counterattack. Good movement, but too much time taken. Limu looking to step up. Stripped to the puck by Mickey's. Able to hand off for Koloslav. Good spin. Another move. Poked away. Back and forth. Looking for that breakthrough goal. Bodie can hold on to it. Mythix looking good move for Bobby. Tried to pick the corner. And call him Bobby, call him Bobby. I'll call him dangerous. He has had some good looks. We have seen the creativity from the Mythix forwards. Not afraid to throw those dekes out there to try and generate that space. It was a good save by Yontas. Here's Roots now. Trying to help their goaltender after giving up the majority of the chances in this one so far, but Rico makes a big save for Mythix, who are on the counter. Bobby down low. Koloslav. Stripped to the puck by Limu. Over the line here for Roots. Vodi has space. They need to capitalize, and they do. Great feed to Limu in the high slot. He rips it home. And Roots Gaming have overcome a slow start and some friendly fire in that celebration to grab the lead. It's 2-1. And a tough break for Rico there, who honestly looked like he was in good position. Maybe not enough depth away from that goal line. Close quarters strikes as well. Again, this is technically the third period upon a restart, so you won't have that slow real-time minutes. Mythix need to go to work here, or they are at risk of dropping points that statistically they'll be very disappointed to have dropped. A good block there by Redux. They are running out of time, though. Picked off. Vodi in control. Turns it over on the breakout, though. Vodi down low to the point. A good save by Yontas. Final minute winding down. Mythix need to find a goal here. Koloslav. Stripped to the puck by Nordsman, who sends it all the way down. 5 seconds to go. A quick feed up ahead. And time runs out on Mythix. Roots Gaming with a solid comeback in their first game of the season. They'll take the points. And a very disappointing result for Mythix there. Again, dominated statistically. We were halfway through this game without a Roots shot on goal. Yet they will be the ones to get the points, and it's because of that shot right there by Limu, top shelf over the glove. And of course, the stats not going to be a full look, of course, at what we could have had, but one more look here at the goal from Limu. It was another turnover, both teams struggling to keep possession of the puck. And it does lead directly to the winning goal as Limu gets the points for Roots Gaming. They start off their season in winning fashion, 2-1, the final score in that first contest. But again, that is just the first game of 2 between these two teams. We will be back in just a few moments as game 2 gets underway. So stick with us and we'll see how that one goes.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. makukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
All right, everybody, we are back again. A big thank you for sticking with us here at SportsGamer. It is game number 2 coming up between Roots Gaming and Mythix as we kick off a brand new season of action here, ECL Winter. As very intrigued to see how this game goes, right? We talked about it. I'm here. I'm not used to doing any solo cast yet. But I'm missing some of the pals that I've worked with, who I will continue to work with as the season progresses on. Hint on that one. But intrigued to see how this one plays out, because it was a very, very strong start for Mythix in that first game. But ultimately, they weren't able to take advantage of all the opportunities that they had. And as a result, Roots sticking around, making the most of their chances and taking game number 1 in regulation. More nervous moments there for Rico, who again, the early part of that first game is a breakout pass there. Just doesn't quite work out. Rico had to deal with a lot of friendly fire in that first game. Mythix trying to get something going here. The break up. And Lexa, an incredibly strong two-way player. We've seen that setup from Roots with the player builds. A lot of emphasis on defense, but a force and a turnover. Great opportunity for Koloslav. Not able to find the back of the net. He has been snake bitten so far tonight. Close chances, broken stick. Leontes again makes another great save on the first official shot on goal in this game. So can get something going. Here goes Koloslav again. Flying Bobby, he scores! Make it 2 games in a row. A strong start for Mythix. They get the goal. Off of this tremendous individual effort here. What a cutback. No shot for Leontes whatsoever. And it's Mythix 1-0. Now the question is, as we progress, will they be able to find that insurance marker for Roots to work their way back into this game? Off in the corner here for Sokolo. Down low for Roots. Good poke check there by Weedux to take it away. And a huge hit there for Vody. The freight train steps up. Emu work in the corner. Nordsman. Avoid Koloslav, the shot on. And covered by Rico. Get their first shot on target. Get a look at this. I mean, you simply cannot go with those weaker passes up the boards when Vody is on the other side. It will not end well. Clean win for Lexa. Set play. Great breakup by Weedux. So close yet so far for Roots. Both these teams have had looks at those better set plays. Easy pick off there for Lexa. They move back to him. Tried the short side. Good stop by Rico. Cody tried a quick drop pass to Nordsman. They will maintain possession. Quickly back into the attacking zone. Good work. Nice pick off, though. Bobby has Koloslav with him. The feed in front. And again, it's Lexa dropping back, helping out the defense. Bodie hands it right to the opposition. Up ahead now. Volley off the spin. Tried to find Koloslov. Limu was there to break it up. Ducks at the point. And with Mickey's, the shot from Koloslov. Good stop by Yantas. Pass picked off once again by Limu, setting up Sokolo here. Has a little bit of space to work with. Tried the feed back across. Mickey's was able to take it away. Patience there, but a bit too much patience. Another interception for Koloslov. Does he have the speed? The breakaway. He scores! Snake bitten in game number 1, finding the back of the net here in the first period of game number 2. Koloslov, the breakaway speed, and the finish on the short side, make it 2-0 Mythix late in the first period. Cody will dump this one around. Roots in possession. Sokolo tried the wraparound. It was a bit too drawn out. Koloslov looking. Short side. Loose puck. Pocketed back to the corner. Alley stripped of the puck by Sokolo. He attempted those hits to get the puck back. Not able to do so. Final minute here. Puck continuing to bounce around. I'll be over the line. Bouncing puck again. One more chance for Mythix. Mickey's tries to go across. Nordsman was there. And Mythix will carry a 2-0 lead into the second period. They weren't able to make Roots pay for their mistakes all that much in game number 1, but a much better start in that regard here in game 2. Big look at the hit there yet again by Bodie, but one more look at the Koloslov goal. A look at the numbers, relatively close compared to what we had seen before. Gonna look here at the first goal in this one. Great individual efforts on the cutback in front. Nothing like using a defender. Set the pick for the goaltender. No shot for Yantas on this one. And then, of course, we won't see the turnover that led to it. But self-inflicted wounds for Roots to kick off this second game. The puck has dropped. As always, the action brought to you by our friends at Kovalan Lakritsi. It was a 2-1 win for Roots Gaming in the first game, and a chance on the doorstep here. Limu going to work. Shot save. Second chance. Puck still bouncing around. And Rico's able to cover, seeing just as much work there as he did in all the first period. And coming up a little bit later on, EXEN against Unwanted. Regular season matchup between those two teams. Good stop by Rico on the shot from Bodie, as Koloslov was nearly straight up. The line here. Well, he was able to stick with Koloslov. Space for Bobby again. Nice hip check by Bali, but he wasn't able to hold on to the puck. Nordsman over the line. Sokolo. Back from Limu. Roots pushed out to that corner. Nice short side attempt there on the quick shot from Limu. Another save by Rico. Poor look at that hip check there. Face off one more time. Ollie and Lexa. As Mythix nearly had a 3-on-0. Opens up space for Roots down the other way, and they score. It was all or nothing for Roots Gaming on that. Either a 3-0 down the other way or a high-quality chance. And ultimately, it is Nordsman who finds the back of the net. That is a big momentum shift in Roots' favor because a 3-0 deficit may have been just a little bit too much to overcome. See if Roots can find another one here to try and tie it. An early goal in the second certainly helps. Olaslav. While we go to work, they do get the puck back. It's loose for the moment. Weedux trying to step in. Defense able to take it away. Another opportunity, though, for Weedux. He got the puck back. It's able to hold on to it. Limu shot, paddled aside by Rico. Contact at center ice. Ode looking to send it across. Good look for Vody there. Ian Nordsman not afraid to step up. Sokolo, a little bit of space here for Lexa, who scores! It was an incredibly slow start for Roots in the first period yet again. But once again, they have battled back as they tie this game at 2 apiece. Maybe losing some teeth as well on the post. The aftermath of that goal, but 2-2 halfway through the second period. We have ourselves a brand new hockey game. Roots will get some stamina recovery here. Look for that controlled breakout with speed. Mythix able to shut it down this time. Quick possession changes there. Lexa over the line, able to get it down low for Limu. Has Sokolo, goes all the way back to Nordsman. Takes his time. Forehand shot, that was a good rebound. Just out of reach. Back to Nordsman again. The one-timer and a good blocker save by Rico. Job by Nordsman to break up that counter-attacking pass. Good stick lift by Volley there. Mythix have seen their 2-0 lead evaporate over the course of this second period. High up on the draw, Roots will come up with it. Already able to find Sokolo with speed, breaks through. White gets the puck over to a teammate. Sloth and Mickey's going to work. Offside here, though, for Mythix. It has been a frustrating, disjointed at times second period. Quick goal, easily turn that around. Work from Roots here. Vody and Sokolo able to get that puck in. It continues to bounce around. Mythix settle. Get a counter going of their own. Ali to the points. Weedux back to him, and a great blocker save there. For Yantes, another big stop. Mythix trying to grab that lead back before the end of the period. These pinches in. Bobby, oh, he had that short side. He couldn't get the shot off. One more chance here for Limu. Passes off, and ultimately they can't get a shot off. Another great comeback effort for Roots, as we'll get a look here. The tying goal from the captain, Lexa. Matter of fact, we'll get 3 different looks at it. In one of the angles, I'm pretty sure you can see the teeth flying from his face. A great effort, though, by Roots to tie this game up heading into the 3rd period. And it was a slow start. And you see there, not getting too much of a look at the stats, but 8-3, the advantage in draws for Roots in this one. Lex has done a great job not only finding the back of the net, giving his team that extra bit of possession that they need. The all or nothing dive does not pan out. Sets us up here for the 3rd period. We'll see if Roots can pull off the double. Potentially walking away. A very strong amount of points to kick off the season with. Mythix, I think, in some ways, going to feel like they let themselves down in game number 1, and to not be able to hold the lead here. Hey, the early stages of a season, mistakes are going to be made. We know how quickly the regular season can fly by. Mistakes in week 1 can absolutely cost you down the road. Good job there by Roots to control their own blue line. Koloslav, stick lifted by Vody. Great job there. Puts up Limu, now Nordsman. Off the spin, tried to go back to Limu, who has it now. Just loses it off the attempt from Koloslav. Poked off of him by Nordsman. Back to the chess match of the neutral zone trap. Sort of an offside. They back off, and we'll see what Roots can do. Nordsman elects the dump in, goes all the way around. Sokolo immediately contested. Great job there by Mickey's. Roots are able to win it back. Sokolo. Odie steps up, keep that play alive, and he can't hold on to it for too long. Olaslav wiped out by Nordsman, who nearly found the puck. Pick off by Weedux. 13 minutes to play here in regulation. Space, Bobby and Koloslav going to work. Okolo able to find Lexa. Drops off for Limu. Feed in front, only Koloslav is there. Vody tried to step up, missed the hit. Mythix into the attacking zone. Mickey's back to volley, just couldn't get it to the backhand. Battle for the puck. Mickey's at the point. Back to the forehand. Has Bobby there. Takes his time to the point. Weedux pass over off the skates. Koloslav just can't hold that puck into the attacking zone. And a 2-1 win for Roots Gaming in game number 1. Mythix had a 2-0 lead in this contest. Roots able to tie it. The wall, here's Bobby yet again. Finds volley. The fake shot actually ended up being on nets as it was poked away. Nordsman, good feed down the wall. Sokolo tried the feed in front. Mickey's was there. Bobby wanted Koloslav. Picked off by Nordsman. Gets it back as Roots will look to reset. An unforced turnover one more time for Roots. That one rifled back towards Giantas. He had to paddle it away. Over the line, Mythix back in on the attack. 4 minutes left here in regulation. Shot, good block. Mythix still in control. Bobby for Weedux. Broken up. We'll see what Roots can do on this counterattack. Nordsman, a big head of steam. Back for Vody. Nordsman again. Sokolo in the mix. We've seen both goaltenders have to fight off those situations. Bouncing pucks in tight, tough to track. Face off one for Lexa again. Nordsman's shot. Handled well by Rico. Pass up the boards. Contested. Nordsman has it. Less than 90 seconds left in regulation. Both teams sure wouldn't mind picking up a point here. Nordsman back to Lexa in the corner. Feed down low. Now back to the point for Vody. Avoids a hip check. Still in control. Trying to just power his way to the net front. Sokolo. Point blank opportunity kept out by Rico. Space now for Mythix on the counter. Olaslav tried to get to the forehand. It was poked away. Has it once again. I'll be at the point. The one-timer. Good save by Yantes. Another turnover for Roots. Mythix. Can they take advantage? The shot on. Stopped one more time. 12 seconds left in regulation. Nordsman. Roots trying to steal another couple of points here if they can. Vody shot deflects away. Sogolo the feed in front. Intercepted. And for the first time on broadcast this season, well, you knew it had to be. We have joked for years calling it Marathon Monday. Why not get an overtime in there to kick off a new season? Both goaltenders with some big saves down the stretch. Getting a look at him here. Yantes called upon just a little bit more often. Again, for Roots, it's already been a good night. 1 win in the books, potentially 2. Even an overtime loss is a decent way to start off a new campaign against a playoff team from last season. It was a 6th place finish for Mythix under the Björklöven Esports moniker. And for Roots, we've talked about it. Consistent in their staying power in this division. But you want more than staying power. Sudden death overtime in game number 2 of the season. Coming up after this, the regular season matchup between Unwanted and EXEN. Mythix trying to get these points here again. I mentioned it, up 2-0 in this game, and they might ultimately blow the lead. And no, Mickey's was there yet again. Caught out on the game-tying goal from Lexa. Opportunity here, short side. Nerves of steel from Yantes with that stop. I mean, that is a tremendous read. I think most goalies panic to the other side with Koloslav having a chance to end this game. Has an opportunity here too. Tried the windmill in front. Ollie to the point. Weeducks. Good movement down low. Bobby tried the effort again. I mean, the creativity in front with those cuts to get the puck into an even more dangerous situation. We saw it in the first goal of this game. Nearly struck there yet again. I made the joke. Bobby, or him. Where's that goal? We'll be calling him for the rest of the season. The line broken up. Roots looking to deliver here on the counter. Good pick off once again by Mickey's. The pass was just a little bit off. And mistimed at the line for Mythix. Where the two teams have differed a little bit. We've seen Roots be a little bit more willing to play the dump and chase game. Mythix not so much. They'll continue with the speed game, trying to break through the trap. it's missed time, then so be it. Turnover here for Mickey's, though. Sokolo not able to dance around Weeducks. The offside here as well. Neither team wanting to make that crucial mistake. See who's able to win this game. First 2 games of a brand new season for these two clubs. This opening week here for us at SportsGamer with the ECL, sportsgamer.gg. As always, for all the information that you need. Sloth drops back. Over the line, broken up yet again. Weeducks. Volley in front, couldn't finish it. Sokolo now with a head of steam down the other way. Not able to find a way through, but he doesn't have to. Roots Gaming gonna get the overtime win and the comeback victory off of some friendly fire on Rico. It's so tough, but we had seen examples of that throughout the series, with Roots able to get the puck towards dangerous areas, and at that point, it's too late for the defenders to be able to adjust, and at that point, you're at the mercy of whatever animation you get, and unfortunately there, the worst possible pickup at the worst possible time. If you are Mythix, a 2-0 lead disappears right before your eyes, and you only have a single overtime loss to show for your efforts as Roots Gaming 2 for 2 to kick off this new season. Again, very tough way to lose, but let's be honest, that situation occurs when a mistake has been made elsewhere. If you're having to rely on multiple players streaking back towards the goal, as they did there on the Lexa tying goal in regulation, and of course, as we just saw in that overtime winner, a mistake was made. You can blame the pickup if you want, but there's no denying a mistake was made before that, and that's what you have to look at. A tough result for Mythix as, again, Sokolo gets the winner. We'll look back at the goals here. It was a very strong start for Mythix in this one. Starts off the scoring and technically ends the scoring in overtime. Up and down game for one of Bobby there. And the chance, there you see Koloslav making the most. It was a turnover for Roots in the attacking zone that led to that. But this was the comeback effort for Roots. A little bit lucky, bouncing around a bit. That's okay. But right here, you won't see what led to it, but it is a 2-on-1. And the pass across, it's a defensive mistake that leads to that. And then right here, again, never a bad thing to have a forward trailing back to help. But on a broken play, those things can happen. It is unlucky. Again, it's not something that you look at and say necessarily that he made a mistake, but as mentioned, at some point, a mistake was made further back that we weren't able to see through the replay. But for Roots, I don't think they care about mistakes right now. What they care about is that they are 2-0 on this season, and that is a strong way for them to begin this new campaign. But again, everybody, that is just our first matchup of this broadcast. We'll be back in just a few moments with the first game of 2 between EXEN and Unwanted. We'll set the stage for that one in just a few moments, so stick with us, and we'll be right back.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. makukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
All right, everybody, we are back. A big thank you for sticking with us here at SportsGamer. Again, our first matchup of 2 in the books as we kick off a brand new season. And up next, 2 games between EXEN and Unwanted. A very interesting matchup here as EXEN, one of our 2 focused upon teams, as of course we have seen the days of tunnel vision come and go, and EXEN, of course, one of the 2 teams where a decent amount of the split players have ended up. It was already a very promising team in the first place, a very experienced team, but now how much more dangerous are they going to be? Are those players going to click? That is the question. And of course, Unwanted on the other side, 2 straight 7th place finishes in both of our 24 seasons, and back-to-back quarterfinals losses to the team then known as Strikers for the last campaign. But let's get into what these 2 teams are going to look like heading into this particular matchup. Again, for the Unwanted side of things, we have Loxen Suth, our cover gamer for this season, and Henka on the right, with Snus and Beestrom on defense and Carlson in goal. On the other side for this EXEN lineup, Landstrom, Pikari, and Moja. On defense, Domi and Wenger, and in goal, originally, we thought it might be Bennu, but it is Kazu tonight, which is just an embarrassment of riches to have both Kazu and Bennu available to you in terms of a goaltending tandem that is one of the best in the league, if not outright the best in the league. I mean, I think that is certainly arguable. We will see how it plays out. Of course, we won't have any regular season numbers to look at in terms of the head-to-heads. I can just kind of mention a couple of things, though, in regards to these 2 lineups. The center matchup here, we do have, again, Suth versus Pikari, and going to be very intrigued to see how this one plays out. Of course, Pikari, a phenomenally well-rounded player, and, you know, kind of taking now center stage for this matchup, and for a team that the vast majority of predictions that I saw heading into this season had EXEN finishing top 2, top 3, typically at the worst. And a lot of that comes down to, you know, his ability on the sticks, both as a 1v1 and 6s player, of course. The winger matchup that we have, again, as mentioned, it is Loxen and Henka, the Swedish combination for Unwanted. On the other side, a pair of Finns, Landstrom and Moja. Of course, you see there, Moja rocking the old tunnel vision sweater that we had. And, you know, it's been an interesting couple of seasons for him. And just for the type of player that he is, his ability to make the players around him that much better. Very intrigued to see just how well Landstrom does, who is a very capable player on his own. The defensive combinations for these 2 teams, again, Snus and one Elvis Beestrom, the Beestrom. We'll go with you know, we'll go with Beestrom for this one. On the other side, Domi and Wenger. Of course, we talked about the tunnel vision dissolving, of course. Wenger alongside, you know, a long time top defenseman in this league, former defender of the season alongside Tunnel Vision's captain in Tombo, but now alongside Domi. And these 2 have been 2 of the best defenders in my time covering the ECL over the past near 5 years, minus a season or 2 here and there. And I'm very intrigued to see how these 2 do as a combination, because this was a combination that once upon a time could have been viewed as an all-star pairing. So a lot of pressure on Unwanted here in this particular matchup, but they're not a team that you can rule out, and that's going to come down to the goaltending as well, as we get a look again one more time at Carlson and Kazu for this one. Again, EXEN either way, no matter who they roll with in goal, they are looking good to go. But Carlson on the other side had very strong numbers last season. Another one of those goaltenders that is looking to kind of take advantage of the, spots that are very much up for grabs in terms of, hey, who are the top goaltenders in the elite division right now? The names, sometimes season to season change, but especially, on a year by year basis, they can change quite dramatically. So very intrigued to see what we see from these two goaltenders in this matchup. Again, we are just a few moments away from puck drop in game number 1 between these two clubs. And of course, as always, here at SportsGamer, we try to cover everything that we can. So a reminder, we will have Pro Division coverage tomorrow, and then we'll be right back here on Wednesday with another Elite Division broadcast. Again, broadcast start time 19:45 CET. That is 1:45 p.m. Eastern for those of you watching on the North American side of things. And again, we're going to be here as much as possible all season long, covering all the action. And again, something that I'm really excited about, of course, just being back here in general for myself after having to miss last season, is just knowing the void that has been left from Tunnel Vision's departure. And then, who ended up going to the team that's going to take that next step forward? Is it EXEN? Is it going to be, a variety of different teams that I'm sure will be very happy to see a multiple-time champion ultimately dissolve? And time will tell, right? At the end of the day, that is what makes the scene very exciting to cover at the end of the day. Of course, if you missed it, the start of this broadcast was the first edition of the Wraparound as well, our weekly recap show where we try to take a look at everything going on here at SportsGamer. So make sure to check that out as well if you missed the start of this broadcast, whether it be from the Elite all the way down to our new, our entry-level tier, not our new tier, of course, in Neo. Whether it be some of the other things that we have going on here. We've talked about the increased focus on, hey, on that particular show, we want to make sure we get those highlights, the best goals, the biggest hits, and maybe some of the not so ideal moments for people to share. We saw one of those in overtime at the end of the last game. But there you see the two teams in the lobby. And again, another team with a decent amount of emphasis on defense. Quick stick, very, very prevalent throughout the Unwanted lineup. On the EXEN side of things, you do have Mosier with 1T. No surprise to see Puck on a String being a heavily used ability. I, of course, know not just on the European side, but the North American side of things as well. So again, game 1 coming up here between these two teams, the regular season matchup, 1 home, 1 away, 30 games, 16 teams, just half the league making the playoffs, and only 2 teams can make it to our live final at Assembly, February 20th, Thursday, February 20th. We will be there. Of course, if you are a player license holder, you can inquire about your free tickets there. And even if you're not a license holder, we hope to see you there in Helsinki. I know that I am very much looking forward to making the pilgrimage back over. But for now, here we go. The action is ready to get back underway. A brand new season for EXEN and Unwanted. We'll see how game 1 goes for both of these two teams. As Wenger looks to dump this puck in. And we'll see what happens here. Maybe even a little bit of Dove for soft, resilient skin. After every shave, it's Dove with the free publicity. Look, you got to get that ad revenue in there, okay? You got to get that ad revenue in there. I respect the hustle. As it is EXEN in control here. Wenger looking to pinch in. Hikari was there as well. Down the other way, Sooth behind the nets. 4 unwanted. Try to go to work here in the corner. Bouncing puck. Dangerous situation. Kazu was able to stand his ground, and EXEN will get some energy back here. Job, though, by Unwanted. And now breaking down the other way. A shot on good. Save by Kazu again, sticking with the shooter. He has been thrown into the fire here to kick off this season. Some opportunities for Unwanted. Some big saves. Wenger looking to step up here. Onstrom nearly able to work his way through. Wanted taking their time down to the corner, rifled around the back of the net, held in by Beestrom. Landstrom was there in his face, forcing the defender back. Maintain possession. Wanted again, taking their time. They're broken though as the trap holds strong for EXEN. They're now in control. Mosey up that right wing side, centering feed. Lot of space, ends up behind the back of the net. Hikari looked to be in prime position to score. Wasn't able to do so, and there is the skating effort from Hanka, but the defense read it well. You know your opponent can throw that at you. Not caught off guard at this level. Not going to be as difficult to shut down. Big sauce pass just off the mark, but intentionally off the mark as they win the foot race. 7.5 minutes to go here in the first period. As a shot on and a glove stop by Kazu. Got the Blackbirds for the raid, by the way. Welcome in. Another team to keep an eye on outside of the Elite Division as the season gets underway and continues on. Wanted in control. Good pick off by Wenger. Onstrom now stepping up. The cut to the middle with speed. Unwanted able to collapse though, and now here's Sooth stepping up. Running out of gas towards the end. Drives to the net. Nearly owned goal by Wenger. Kazu able to bail him out. And the cover, as there have been some nervous moments for goaltenders in the action that we've covered so far tonight. Very, very dangerous. That heavy collapse with speed. Just never know what's quite going to happen. Case in point from how the last game ended. Hanka dealing with a temporary injury. The passing percentages there. Strong start for EXEN. Still, though, yet to register a shot on goal. Hikari on the tie-up. Idomi stepping up for Landstrom. The quick cut. Landstrom, though, did a good job taking that one away. Puck dumped into the corner. Snus decided to back up, go defense first here for Unwanted. A little bit dangerous to invite the pressure, though. As Domi able to maintain control here, has Wenger at the point. Good patience. Domi one more time. Poked away, the feed back in front, loose puck, and they score! Right place, right time for Hikari, a gift to start off the scoring for EXEN this season. A very, very fortuitous bounce there. Shot as it bounced around 5-hole. Not much Carlson can do there to keep that one out. EXEN strike first here in the first period of the first game between these two clubs. A tough break for Unwanted, who were off to a very strong start in this game, but it is now technically one shot, one goal for EXEN. Goes over to Beestrom, D to D, can't find a way through. Final few moments here. Landstrom with a lot of speed was caught offside. 6 seconds left for EXEN. Try and grab another one. Peakery, the toe drag kept out. A huge stop by Carlson at the end. And you know what? It all kind of evens out. Say what you want about the goal that EXEN did get. They very well should have scored there. That was a tremendous, tremendous stop. As we'll get another look here at the goal that was ultimately the breakthrough. Not the prettiest, but a goal nonetheless. 1-0 for EXEN at the end of one. See there the shots in Unwanted's favor, but time on attack, face-offs, both on the side of EXEN, so maybe a little bit closer of a period, at least by those metrics, than it may have appeared. And the first game of two between these two teams. As always, the action brought to you by our friends at Kovalan Lakritsi as we get ready. The second period, a 1-0 lead for EXEN. Let's see the response from these two teams. Onstrom can't break through. Beestrom there yet again. Up ahead to Sooth, our cover gamer for this season. Pass off the mark. Finger trying to weave his way through. Defense able to take it away. Now stepping up, it's Loxon, avoiding some pressure. Good job by Peakery to get back and help out the defense. And here goes Domi trying to rush through. Beestrom, good job of stopping that. Unwanted in. Sooth gas though, but does a good job of maintaining possession. Still has it. Sends it down low. Oxen in control. Down low again. With Hanka, the feed in front. Peakery was there to take it away. Onstrom with speed. The feed. And again for soft, resilient skin. It's Dove. That was a good save there. My gosh. Again, hey, if you're the EXEN boys, again, you got to get that ad revenue in there, you know? Got to get that extra ad revenue in there. I respect it. I respect the hustle. Pulling out the call in case this happens again. We need fake ads to throw up on stream. I'm gonna say Kenu's. I need a fake ad for Kenu's Fitness. We're Fit by Ken, featuring a brand new over-the-door pull-up bar. Get yours today. Peakery tries the between the legs. Wasn't meant to be. And again, Unwanted will drop back to their own zone, looking for that controlled breakout. Just 7 shots combined on net so far. Probably the most unlikely one that's gone in as Hanka tried that protective skating again. The quick out for Landstrom, but again, Beestrom was able to get in front of that one. He has a tough task shutting down Landstrom, but he's done a good job so far. Hanka tried the feed in front. Shot towards goal, easily kept out by Kazu. And EXEN, the Finnish contingent, all 6 of them Unwanted. Predominantly Swedish outside of Sooth representing Norway, as we'll be back for Peakery. Bounces around, and a good stop there for Carlson yet again. He's had a tough task with the way these pucks have been bouncing around. It ended up being a very interesting season for goalies. I mean, I talked about the idea of like, hey, you know, who's going to establish themselves as a top goalie? Might be more luck involved this year than previously thought. chance. Another stop there. Carlson does a great job sticking with the shooter, but EXEN starting to find their feet a little bit more with this offensive consistency, taking advantage of these bounces, nearly at full pressure here as well. Clean win for Peakery. Show me the one-timer, they score! First goal of the campaign for Mozia, top shelf, unstoppable for any netminder. And EXEN overcome a bit of a slow start yet again. We've seen that consistently. Bit of a slow start in terms of getting those shots on, but now up 2-0. Here towards the latter stages of the second period. A great goal there for Mozia. Unwanted facing a lot of pressure here in the attacking zone. EXEN gonna really force the issue. Here's Suto for Unwanted. Tried to go across. Domi was there to pick it off. Talked about in the pregame, Domi and Wenger, an all-star caliber defense pairing for EXEN. Unwanted, though, would be a tough team to stop. A lot of clubs, but may not be the greatest indication of their offensive abilities when, again, they are going up against a defense pairing of this caliber. Mozia able to keep this puck in. Domi stepping up, just couldn't hold on to it. Final 10 seconds of the period. Henke. Beestrom stepping up. Quick movement around. Loxon in there trying to fight for it, but EXEN will be able to kill the time. A 2-0 lead thanks to this goal from Mozia. Get one more look at it. Again, you see there, he just did a great job fading away from the pressure. Of course, those 1Ts not necessarily as powerful. Powerful, maybe not the best word for it. Overpowered would have been a great word for it when this game first launched. But it is still a very, very powerful weapon to utilize in the offensive zone as you get a look there at the numbers. And again, the thing that stands out for me is someone who plays a lot of center. Right now, it's Peakery 8-2 on the faceoffs for EXEN, and that's huge for a team that has the puck possession capabilities that an EXEN has. We'll get ready here. Third period coming up again. The first game of 2 between these two teams. Able to take game 1 here, the first game of the season for both of these clubs. Our opening week here at SportsGamer for the ECL 25 winter season. Lundstrom, nice between the legs move. Pick off there by Sooth. And we'll be back tomorrow with Pro Division coverage, and Wednesday for more Elite Division action. Shot on and snatched out of the air by Kazu as it popped up. And talked about the goaltending tandem that EXEN have. Not going to be one of those teams where you're really concerned about goaltending at any point this season. Opportunity here and a goal! Well, the commentator's curse is alive and well as Kazu does surrender one. He played it really, really well. But the first goal of the season for Unwanted, it's Loxon who's able to find that little bit of space glove side, as I mentioned, the face-offs. And look at that, Unwanted, a rare win in this game. And it immediately turns into a goal. That goal brought to you by Fitness by Kenu. Order now for your... I don't know, what would Ken give away for free? We'll workshop these. as the season goes on. Don't worry. We'll workshop. Puck over to the corner. Lead now down to 1 for EXEN, but they're on the attack here. Domi down low for Pikari. Pikari. I mean, just slippery in the offensive zone is the best way to describe it. Wenger, the one-timer, nearly goes. Lundstrom recovers. Pikari will hold on to it, gets it back down to Lundstrom. It's a good effort by Henka, though, to stick with those two to get the puck. Nowhere for Loxton to go this time. Lundstrom battling with Bistrom here. My best to not Americanize the Bystroms. Of course, then again, the Swedes know all about the Americans not really caring about pronunciations. Peter Forsberg says hi. Unwanted into the zone. A shot, blocked down. Domi's there to take it away as we are nearly halfway through this period. Lundstrom back for Domi. Good movement from EXEN to gain the zone. Pikari, though, didn't really have anywhere to go. This one sent all the way down. Azu forced to play it. Clock keeps going. See what happens here as we continue on. Again in control. This time, dump in. Tried to predict a quick pass. Turnover forced. Pikari nowhere to go. Wanted again in control. 7 minutes left in regulation. Unwanted with 1 in the period. Needing to find another to tie this game. Puck dumped in by Snus. Picked off, and he's gone. Moja on the breakaway, scores! Make it 2 for Moja in game number 1, as he makes no mistake on the backhand. A really tough break there for Carlson, who's had a strong game, but Moja taking over. EXEN back up by 2. And a long shot here for Unwanted, but they do have time. Lundstrom stepping up. Around the back, nearly. Bank it from the odd angle off the goaltender. Sooth tried to go down low, picked off by Wenger. Up to Lundstrom, and a good poke check there by Snus. An offside call. 3:39 to go. Moja's second of the game has EXEN back up by 2, as we will see a timeout from Unwanted, looking to get that energy back as you get a look there at the numbers. Just 7 shots apiece. Time on attack, only 40 seconds of difference. Even the passing, just 6% separation. But EXEN, at the end of the day, able to find those high-quality chances that Unwanted have struggled to find. See if Unwanted can at least get 1 back. You never know. It starts with 1. Still have the second game as well coming up between these two teams. There we go. Big moment now in this game. Face-off win for Unwanted. A shot blocked down by Pikari, but still Unwanted in control. At the point, Lundstrom causing havoc. EXEN back in control. Great outlet pass to Lundstrom, trying to take on Sooth. Oh, it wasn't even Sooth there. It was the Sutherland that got me confused on that one. It was Snus who was back there. The double between the legs was disgusting, but just didn't work out. Man, he broke my brain with those moves. Shows why I'm not an elite defender, because the defenseman did stick with him. 50 seconds left here for Unwanted. Lundstrom getting control back down low. Domi once again to him. Pikari can't hold on. Another chance here for Unwanted, but they are running out of time. The shot goes just wide. He's been able to hold this puck in, sends in front. Peekery's there, chips it out, finds its way to Landstrom. Now Moja flying poke check, and the second chance goes just wide. Landstrom's shot, no dice, 13 seconds to go. As this puck is chipped out, and that will do it. An impressive showing for EXEN in game number 1 of the season. A 3-1 victory over Unwanted. A little bit shaky there with Unwanted getting on the board, but ultimately EXEN able to seal the deal. 2 goals, nearly a hat trick at the end. But ultimately 2 goals for Moja. We'll get one more look at the 1T. That did ultimately seal the deal. Again, it was such a great look to find him there. EXEN start off their campaign championship hopefuls with a regulation victory in game number 1. And you get a look at the lone goal there for Unwanted. The insurance tally. Second goal from Moja on the breakaway. That hip check brought to you by Dove. I can't recall the last time a team forgot to turn off ads for a broadcast game, but I gotta be honest, the comedic timing of that particular advert and the fact that it's that ad every time is killing. As you get a look there at some of the final numbers, again, that is just game 1 of 2 between these two teams. It was close in some regards, but ultimately EXEN able to pull away and get the victory that seals the deal. Not sure if we're going to get a look at any replays here. We'll see. Where's he going to go? I mean, coach feedback's pretty important. All right, back to the action tracker it is in between games on this one. Maybe not. We'll come back to me here in the... No, we won't. Action tracker again. It's just all sorts of unexpected hurdles. As we get a look here at the first goal. And actually, you could get a better look at it there. It was accidentally poked. And a wide open shot right at the goaltender that still found its way through. And then again, we've seen this goal quite a few times now, but the Moja one-timer that is just absolutely perfectly placed. I mean, goaltender did everything he could to get in front of that one. The goal that gave Unwanted a little bit of hope in this one off the tie-up. A bouncing puck actually stripped right off of the tape of Wenger and a quick finish past the glove. I mean, EXEN kind of hard pressed by that one. They played it really well. Still ends up in the back of their net. And then, of course, the breakaway goal for Moja that ended this game. Certainly a 3-1 scoreline. EXEN again starting off their season with a victory. We will come back now to studio briefly because, of course, we'll step aside for a quick word from our sponsors before getting to the second game of the series and, of course, the fourth and final game of this broadcast. So stick with us. We'll be right back.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
All right, everybody, we are back. A big thank you for sticking with us here. Game number 2 coming up, as you can tell, in just a matter of moments between EXEN and Unwanted. Again, it is our 4th and final game of our opening night broadcast here. We thank you all for joining us. A reminder, we will be back tomorrow, same time, 1945 CET. That is 1:45 p.m. Eastern for those of you on the North American side of things, for our first Pro Division broadcast of the season, and right back here on Wednesday at the same time for more Elite action. But we thank you very much again for joining us for opening night as we get ready for this second matchup between EXEN and Unwanted. Again, EXEN a 3-1 victory in game number 1. We'll see this one plays out as Unwanted looking to bounce back here. Is EXEN quickly in on the attack. Domi can't get that shot through. Does quickly win the puck back from Loxen. Loose puck that Sooth is going to try to chase down. A little bit of space for EXEN down the other way. Peekery for Wenger. Domi avoiding some pressure. Peekery again now for Landstrom down low. Domi, good patience, finds Wenger, deflected. Carlson able to keep that one out. Low Landstrom, another shot. Couldn't quite elevate it over the blocker. Carlson's been called upon. Turnover there. Nearly set up Mozja perfectly in front. Big step up for Wenger. Obviously some tired legs out there, and Loxen elects to just dump that puck in, gets the pressure off. Landstrom evading, tried the between the legs again. It was poked loose. Domi hit. Speed for Landstrom. Couldn't get anything on that shot. Landstrom up ahead. Sooth has it poked away from him. Puck continuing to bounce around. Will be Unwanted, who drag it back and get a reset here on the energy. Strom over the line. Knocked loose again. Sooth in control. Finds Henka. Nowhere to go. Loxen trying to make something happen. Sooth again. Down low for Henka. Cuts back. Tried to get a shot off. Couldn't do it. Good avoidance there by Sooth. Kicks up the wall. And a short side shot. Kazu all over that one. And he'll cover as we're already halfway through this first period. Look here. Bit of physicality as well from Wenger. Always going to try hard to not show my bias for Wenger from 124 to another. Has the puck here. Great outlet to Landstrom. Across it off the post for Mozja. A tremendous counter from EXEN. Unwanted off the hook for the moment. EXEN, though, still right in on the attack. Domi has options. Can't hold on to it, though. The pressure from Loxen will take it away. And again, EXEN able to shut down their blue line here. So stumps us in. Bounce. Covered by Domi. Wenger looking to step up into the attacking zone. Fed across. Penalty called here. A cross-checking call on left wing Loxen, and a power play opportunity. The first of the season coming up here. Great chance for EXEN to grab the lead early on. Like they did in game number 1. Let's see how this plays out here. In face-off win for Sooth. Trouble for Snus, though, to try and wiggle out of. He can't. Domi tried to cut back. Moses there to corral the loose puck. As EXEN head to their setup as Wenger threw a backhand on. Moses to Domi. Picked off. As Beestrom will dump it over to the far side corner. Henka backs off. 50 seconds left on the EXEN man advantage. Peekery for Landstrom. Domi for Wenger. Landstrom the odd angle. One-timer. The rebound kicked out, but ultimately Carlson is there to cover the best look of the man advantage so far. Say so far, there's not too much time left on it, but time nonetheless. Sooth, good face-off win, but Landstrom wins it back. Peekery's pass back, nobody home, and we are back to 5-on-5 with Loxen out of the box. Landstrom again on the forecheck. Back to the point. Peekery for Mozja. He scores! The red-hot start for Mozja continues. EXEN strike first. Just a great extra pass and some patience as well. A successful kill for Unwanted, but they can't hold off the goal scoring threat for too much longer. It's 2:51 to go in the first period. 4 shots on goal to 0 and a goal for EXEN. See how Unwanted respond. And a short side shot there. Good save by Kazu. One of the better looks for either side so far this game. Lundstrom nearly rips one over the glove. Good stop there by Carlson. An offside call here at 36 seconds to play. So both goaltenders with a big save in response. The opening goal of this game from Mozia, already his 3rd of the season. .36 seconds left to play here in the first period. EXEN have it off the draw. Lundstrom. And we've had a trouble. Peakery, a net drive, and Carlson's there to cover. One more opportunity for EXEN if they can win the draw. The first period that they have mostly controlled. Obviously, the penalty on Loxton, Unwanted on the kill, did not help in terms of trying to get that momentum going. Sooth wins the draw, and that will do it. A 1-0 lead for EXEN. Off of a goal from Mozia, but we'll get another look here at a save from Carlson. And it is that glove save, completely robbing Lundstrom on what could have been a bit of a misery compiler. Easily been 2-0. That is the good news for Unwanted. It is only a 1-goal deficit. And you look there, nothing a goaltender can do. So we'll get a look at the numbers. Briefly. Momentarily. There we go. 5 shots to 1 in EXEN's favor as they want to take another look here at the goal. And that extra pass really was great. And for Mozia, who has the 1T, to not immediately shoot that, just a tremendous bit of patience. Look back at some of the shots here before the start of this second period. Action just about ready to continue. And again, as always, the action brought to you by our friends at Kovalan Lakritsi. It was a 3-1 win for EXEN in game number 1. And they lead after the opening 20 minutes. Let's see what Unwanted can do in terms of a comeback effort. Domi finds that puck. Held up a little bit, still in control. The feed to Peakery. Great save again for Carlson. Puck ends up being played out. Numbers for Unwanted as a result. Sooth over, that one doesn't go. What a save, and another opportunity brought to you by Dove. Look, I can't not point it out, okay? But an unbelievable flurry to begin this period with both goalies rising to the occasion when they needed it, when their teams needed it, and somehow it is still just a 1-goal game. We're actually going to see a very early timeout here for the sake of looking at a replay. And it's this one-timer here, for the first opportunity that they actually want to get a look at. Obviously, a timeout's going to be factored in as well, but just a tremendous initial save. Fortunately, not going to have time to get a look at another one, but the feed in front doesn't go. Second chance, Kazu was not really called upon all that much in the first period. It's Unwanted getting some looks here. keeping him alert. Clean win for Sooth. Shot, the rebound was there, but just out of reach. Eastrom recovers. It's been a strong pushback for Unwanted. Sooth, they're onside. Oxen for Henka down low. Loose puck pounced on by Kazu. He plays it out. As Sooth, short side shot stopped. And the quick out. That one ended up towards goal, actually. Carlson to play it off the pads. Feed up ahead, and a penalty called here. Moja going to be going to the box for charging. An interesting call, to say the least. But it certainly does open up the window of opportunity here for Unwanted in this second period. They've gotten some looks. Haven't been able to capitalize yet. Sooth, another clean face-off win. Goes to Beastrom, he scores! A very quick power play goal on a D2D one-timer. Unwanted take advantage of a somewhat controversial call for some, I'm sure. But they're not complaining. Unwanted on the board. And just like that, we have ourselves a brand new game. Tied at 1 goal apiece here. Moja fresh out of the box. Peakery able to recover it. Good poke check there. Snus to take it away. Like a good old-fashioned D2D one-timer. To find the back of the net. 5 back here for EXEN. Great job to shut it down. A little bit of trouble there with Henka. Now Beastrom, the goal scorer, stepping up here. Tried to find Henka, but Moja was there to take it away. Peakery for Domi. Tested here by Unwanted. It's Landstrom in the corner for EXEN. Good patience, but again, the defense for Unwanted holds strong. Steps up and rifles a pass on net. Sooth for Henka, and a good block there for Wenger on the odd angle attempts. Oh shit, just tries to step into one. It's blocked, and his pass goes all the way back. The EXEN zone. Domi to Wenger, now Domi again. Peakery tries to go to Moja, still fighting for it. Peakery has it. Domi for Moja, sends one in front. Snus was there to take it away. Good movement here. Beastrom, big head of steam. Only Domi back. Henka scores! What a turnaround for Unwanted here in the second period. A very quick counterattack. And they have their first lead of the night. Tremendous patience. And just like that, an incredible turnaround. 2-1. On their 9th shot of the game, Henka's first of the season. Now with 6 minutes to go here in the second period, EXEN trail for the first time in this young season. Wenger at the point, tried to feed Landstrom in front. Sooth was there. Breakout pass, a little bit of space here. Loxton gets it to the corner. Domi able to maintain possession. See what EXEN do here with their backs against the wall. Peakery tried to go to Landstrom. Snus was there to take it away. Can't get it through Moja, who has it. Shot blocked. Wanted looking to find something here. The dump was a bit too lofty. Leads to an offside call. 2:37 to play here in the second period. As it will be Unwanted in possession off the draw. And another offside call here. We've seen it as the game's gone on. EXEN continuing to utilize that heavy blue line trap. And a clean win there as Dove is back in different form. Opportunity for Moja, though. Nearly getting the sponsored goal. I'd argue that should count for 2. The Pizza Hut 2 for Tuesdays. Count it like a money puck in arcade. Beestrom stepping in. Can't get the shot off. And can we please ask, I'm pretty sure it's Domi streaming. Sir, why are Spider-Man web blasters appearing as an Amazon targeted ad? It might, you know what, in fairness, yeah, I guess it would be our producer here who does have young kids, so that makes more sense. If he didn't have kids, I'd be cursing him out. Hilarious. So if there's one thing we know our producer's a fan of, it's clean hair, pizza, and Spider-Man. Oh, it is so good to be back, everybody. I have missed this immensely. Thank you so much for joining us on our opening broadcast. This is, I'm getting the full experience. We've had a restart. We've had overtimes. This has been what I've missed so much and what I missed in our spring season. Fabulous stuff. We are ready for the third period. It is a 2-1 lead for Unwanted. We're trailing 1-0 in this game. As a loose puck corralled by Moja, back to Domi. Can't get the shot through traffic. Lundstrom, a turnaround shot. Blocker saved by Carlson. Moja again down low. We'll go all the way back to Wenger. Now Domi poked away by Henke, who won't be able to win the foot race. There's Unwanted back in control here and playing with the advantage. He's trimmed to the far side corner and easily won for Unwanted, but an unforced turnover there by Loxon. Now EXEN on the counterattack. Lundstrom and Moja, good passes, big hit there though by Loxon, making up for the previous mistake. And he has the puck here now. Space for Unwanted, the one-timer broken up, second chance, third opportunity in front. But never a clean look. As Kazu was there, already down in the butterfly to keep that one out. I still can't get over the fact that I know what our producer's kid's getting for Christmas now. There's Lundstrom for Domi. And a backhand thrown on. Certainly not what Moja was going to be looking for. Lundstrom again stepping up, so dangerous with the puck. Moja had nowhere to go. Ikari. Good quick movement. Sooth was there to pick that pass off, though. Loxon back to him. Sooth stepping up, nearly got the far side shot off. Just clipped the pad of Kazu. Lundstrom, low shot. Rebound was there for Domi. Couldn't handle it cleanly. Sooth loses it to Domi. Snows battling as well. The two defenders deep for EXEN. Trouble for Moja. Now it's Loxon. Has some opportunities. Goes across, and Wenger's there to pick it off. Halfway through this period. Lundstrom to Pikari. Errant pass, recovered by Unwanted. They got to be careful as Pikari and Wenger work to win it back. Domi finds Moja. Toe drag shot into traffic. Wenger again wins the puck back. Lundstrom to Moja, who wanted to go back to him. Too much traffic yet again. Loxen with speed. Gets around Wenger. Down low, good patience here. Forcing EXEN to really fight for it. Bistrom to the forehand. Shot deflected. Good save by Kazu. Now just 5.5 minutes to go. There's Domi. Over to Moja. Nowhere to go with the pass. Stepping up is Snus. Wenger's there. EXEN running out of time. Domi. Point with Lundstrom, who wanted to switch, but the lane wasn't there. Wenger's shot. Good stop by Carlson. Peekery was in front. Domi. For Wenger, you know they're looking for Moja. They go to Lundstrom instead. Low shot deflects. And a breakaway here for Henka. Scores! They survive all the pressure and get their opportunity. His second of the game. No mistake on the breakaway. And that could be the dagger for Unwanted to get their first win of the season and split this series with EXEN. At 5:51 of the third period, 2 minutes left now. EXEN need 2 to avoid the splits. As Sooth heading to the corner. Tried to go down low for Henka. He'd love that hat trick. Sooth has it yet again. Turns it over. Wenger for Lundstrom. Back to Wenger. And a trip is called. It is going to be Henka to the box, making up for a really unfortunate mistake in the offensive zone. EXEN didn't really seem to be on the same page there on that rush. But here they are now. Power play chance. This power play brought to you by the cleanest shave in the game. Oh, we could do the save of the game. And a quick goal on the power play. Moja making 4 on the season. And that is as fast of a power play goal as you will see. As Gold 1T strikes again. No reaction from the netminder. We will hopefully see that on replay at the end of the game. But a costly penalty with 44 seconds left in regulation. EXEN are not done yet. They are offside on this attempt. The hot start for Moja continues. 2 goals in each of these 2 games he's played so far. And you know that he'd love another one. Henka takes a huge hit. Loxen in the corner. Pressured hard by Domi. 27 seconds left here. Can EXEN find the tying goal? Lundstrom for Domi. Domi to Moja. Wenger. Big blocker save there by Carlson. Domi back to Wenger. Peekery now for Domi. Moja still down. Just back to his feet. Final 9 seconds. Trying to get him to the forehand side. Peekery on the doorstep. Loose puck, and Carlson is there to cover. 2.3 to go. And we should be seeing an empty net here. Admittedly, unless it was a rule change I'm not aware of. But, yeah, there you go. Azu is out. One more chance for EXEN. Is it too little too late? Face off, 1 set play. Peekery save by Carlson at the buzzer. And Unwanted earn themselves a split over EXEN in the season opener. 3-2 your final score in game 2. As we will get another look here at the goal by Mozia. That really put the pressure on Unwanted in the final minute. I mean, I really do hope we get a slow motion look at that one. But a split between these two teams to kick off the year. All the replays they chose. The game chose that one. Look, I mean, I'm getting old. I still can't really tell where that puck even went on the Mozia goal, but ultimately it was the Henka breakaway goal that decided this game. He was able to offset the two from Mozia. As we get a look back at the goals again, this was the start for EXEN in this game. I mean, essentially an unstoppable effort, but then it was 3 straight goals from Unwanted. Started off with this power play tally on the D2D one-timer. There's a focus here on the goaltender, and certainly not the most ideal save animation, I'm sure, is the critique there. The next goal for Unwanted that gave them the lead. Great pass, great handle before shooting it. Then, of course, the breakaway goal for Henka that was ultimately the decider. A tough spot for Kazu to be in, but this is the one I really want to get a look at. This was the late goal for EXEN. Left quickly back to the right. Not going to get a more zoomed in look as I was hoping, but that is okay. Unless we do here, unless they go back far enough, it looks like it'll be a look at the last second chance for Picari instead. I mean, really, really good set play. And a glove save by Carlson right at the death. Again, a series split between these two teams brings our broadcast to a close, as we will get a look here at the standings as we currently have them. Of course, a 30-game regular season, as we've talked about. Again, EXEN, of course, we know that second game hasn't been processed yet, but they will have 3 points in 2 games, as will Unwanted. Strong night as well for the Blackjacks, by the way. How about that? 2 games, 2 wins, 11-4, and only 2 goals against as they look to make it back into the playoffs. But again, it is very, very early days in this regular season. We will see how it all plays out. Again, we will be back with more Elite Division coverage on Wednesday, but make sure to tune in tomorrow as well for our Pro Division coverage. Again, same start time all season long, 1945 CET, 1:45 p.m. Eastern for those of you that follow along from the North American side of things. That is our first broadcast in the books. A big thank you to all of you for tuning in here tonight. Again, a reminder, if you missed the first edition of the wraparound, that'll be up on the YouTube side of things as well, if it isn't already. The show where we take a look at pretty much everything going on here at SportsGamer, not just within the Elite Division, but all of the divisions. And of course, as always, sportsgamer.gg for all things that you need to know. For now, a big thank you to you once again for tuning in. We will be back tomorrow with our Pro Division coverage. Until then, have a good one, and we'll see you then.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.